Let it bang for me, your man, Louie Tee. Welcome to Washington football overtime. Dressed in all black like the Omen, which means we took one on the chin. Fellas come up short in this ball game, 20-16. Hard-fought game. Went exactly the way I thought it would. We won the turnover battle. We grinded in this game. We had opportunities. Didn't expect the Ryan Fitzpatrick injury. I didn't expect for the offense to be as stagnant as it was. I did expect the Chargers offensively to be that good. Justin Herbert is that good. Their receivers are that good. I did not expect them to be 14 of 18 on third downs. I did not expect us to give up a 3rd and 16 at the most pivotal point of the game. I did not expect us to be bad on a drive where we had to have it defensively and not be able to get the ball back to the offense and give us a chance to win the game. I didn't expect those things. I did expect, however, Dustin Hopkins to miss a field goal at some point. I did expect us to have a turnover. Didn't think it was going to be one that would ultimately cost us the game, but I did expect a turnover at some point. But we had 2 that we forced of our own. So no complaints from me there. I thought the officiating was actually shaded towards us. So you can't blame the officials in this game. I actually thought we got some breaks on a couple of roughing the passer penalties, the fumble out of the back of the end zone for a touchback, questionable call at best. I thought we got the benefit of some whistles in this game. They missed a face mask. I thought they missed a holding penalty, but we can go back and forth on that stuff. Bottom line is we had every opportunity to win this game, and we didn't. And these are the kinds of games that are the difference between us being 8-9, 9-8 this year, and us being 10-7, 11-6. And I told you we're not there yet. And this is one of those games that proves that. Now, we could go on to have a season where we are 7-1 in games decided by a touchdown or less. But the likelihood is we will lose more games similar to this where we just simply aren't good enough to get over the top. We needed to stop defensively. We needed pressure on Herbert. We needed to do something to change the complexion of the game defensively late, and the defense had no answer for us. You can't be 14 of 18 defensively on third downs and expect to beat anybody in this league. I don't give a shit who you're playing. That's over 80%, guys. You can't win that way. You won't win that way. That was disappointing. I'm not deterred. And I'm actually excited to see Heineke get the nod because I don't know how severe the injury is to Fitz, but I wanted Heineke in all along. So we're going to see this guy. I thought he played well. I thought he gave us a chance. Unfortunately, I didn't think he got enough opportunities because this defense continued to give up 10 and 11 and 13 and 14 play drives to the Chargers over and over and over and over again. So we never had the ball offensively. So he only got the football like 3 or 4 times the entire game. He never really had a shot. One possession ended just like that with a fumble. We never had the ball offensively. I don't even know what time of possession is. I cringe at thinking about even looking at it because I know it's skewed towards the Chargers. We were awful defensively in terms of getting off the field on third downs. That's where the game was lost, if you want my honest opinion. The inability to get off the field on third down. We could talk about the Gibby fumble. We could talk about the Dustin Hopkins miss. They all were factors in the loss, but the bottom line is we could have overcome that had we gotten the ball back to the offense 2 or 3 more times, but we didn't. The Chargers possessed the hell out of the football, dominated the game, and at the end of the day, you don't get stops on third downs. You don't win football games in this league, period. End of discussion. I could rant about this all day long. We could talk about a number of different things, but I know there are a lot of you out there. You got comments. I see super chats lining up, so I'm going to go ahead and get to the super chats because I don't want to miss a whole bunch of them. So let's see what we got. We start with Mark Mullenix. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Mark Mullenix, who writes, someone please sparkling is Miracle Grow on their defense downstairs. What in the world is this comment? Hold on. Let me slow down. Maybe I'm making a mistake. Someone please sparkling is Miracle Grow on their defense downstairs. Okay, yeah, no. All right. I can't do it today. I'm not in the mood to. If you can't put your comment into real English, I can't help you today. Sorry about that, Mark. That comment was ridiculous. Jason Rogers, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Jason writes, Lou, that fumble, shaking my head. It was a huge play in the game. Arguably, if we just go 3 and out right there and punt, who knows what happens? Who knows what happens in the game? But to fumble the football right there, Gibby was loose with it all day long. I've been mentioning that in the comment section of the MOBB. Stand up. We in the building as always. And he had fumbled earlier in the game, if you recall, on a run down by the sidelines. It just happened to go out of bounds. He was loose. That football was out here all day long, and he finally paid for it. He finally paid for it. He's got to have better ball security. Got to be better with the football. He hurt us today. And he had a couple of drops in the past game. Those weren't major drops, but he hurt us today. That fumble, and he was good. That's the problem. He was so good today. But that fumble, that's a game changer. It really is. Marcus Bradley, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Marcus Bradley writes, feeling really dumb. Same old skins, scared Thursday. Don't be. I mean, you guys are so wishy-washy and waffly. This doesn't change my outlook on Thursday against the Giants. We're going to win that football game. I'm not scared at all. This is a good Chargers team. You guys are acting like we just lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Detroit Lions or something. The Chargers are a good football team. They're not great. They were beatable. We should have beat them. We didn't. They outplayed us. They deserve to win this football game. No excuses to be made on our end. We had every opportunity to come out victorious, and we didn't take advantage. So you can't complain, but you shouldn't be scared. And don't come at me with the same old skins. You guys are so reactionary. After every single loss or every single close game, same skins, we suck again, this, that, and the third. It's one game. You thought we were going 17-0 or something? Winnable game, didn't get it done. This is year 2 of Ron, let me remind you. And I'm probably going to have to remind you guys of that all season long. This is year 2 of Ron. Year 2. Not year 4, year 2. Got another super chat. This one is from William Lee. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. William writes, Fitz looked like Haskins 2.0 out there. It was too early to say that. Too early to make that determination. He didn't have time to throw the football when he was out there. You know, amazingly enough, the offensive line got better when when Heineke got in there. Boy, do I love some cold Heine or what. The offensive line got magically better. And this is not a coincidence, Heineke's mobility started to show and was on display, and it really helped us in the football game. So, but the offensive line was bad. It wasn't like Fitz was out there missing guys left and right. He didn't have time. He was under siege. It seemed like every drop back, somebody was in his lap, and he had to alter his progression and speed up his process. So he didn't look good, but the offense as a whole didn't look good when he was out there. FL Tuss, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, what more does Heineke have to do to earn Ron's trust? I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know the severity of the injury to Fitzpatrick. He's our starter, obviously. So if he's healthy next week, he'll go. Being that it's a short week, I doubt that Heineke won't be the guy, and that, you know, Fitz will be back in a short period of time, quick turnaround. Anytime you start talking about a hip, I get worried. And he's 38 years old. He's not a spring chicken, so that's not going to heal up, you know, overnight like it would for a younger player. So I imagine that it's Heineke's show for the foreseeable future. Could be for the season. I mean, we don't know the extent of the injury. It could be one of those season enders, but we'll see. I don't know what else Heineke can do, but he played well enough to give us a chance to win. I do know that. I mean, some big-time penalties cost us. That block, that 15-yard chop block by Adam Humphries, that's a killer, man. You're on the move, in a position to extend the lead by a field goal potentially, if you could get a little bit closer. Matter of fact, I think we might have been down 20-16 at that point. even a field goal there, cuts it to a one-score game or a one-point game rather, and it puts you in a position where now the Chargers feel a little bit of pressure. But instead, you get the penalty. Heineke tries to scramble. You're going to get a lot of people debating whether he should have gone for it. I like the decision to punt the football. Punt the football, pin them, see if you can't get a stop. We trust this defense. We keep talking about how elite this defense. A lot of you, and I told y'all to pump the brakes on that shit. A lot of you out there wanted to talk about how elite this defense was going to be and how this is a top 10 group. And I said, I don't think it's going to be that way because we playing some dogs at the quarterback position. We saw one today, and there'll be more of that to come. And I said, I trust the defense, though. In that spot, Ron trusts the defense, and they had forced 2 turnovers in the game. They had just picked Herbert off not too long ago. I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't. And the defense let us down. I mean, I don't have a problem with him going and punting that football there. Thank you for the super chat. Got another one here from Rob U. Thank you for the super chat, Rob U, and being a member of the MOBB. My guy Rob U writes, D-line had moments, but far too inconsistent. The defense as a whole was struggling in zone. 3rd and 16, you got to get off the field. That sums up pretty much the way I felt about how the defense played today. They had their moments. Montez Sweat, obviously, with the forced fumble. Chase Young got some pressure on a number of occasions in the game. The Chargers came out with a clear game plan of getting the ball out of Herbert's hands quickly. They weren't going to let him sit back there. But then when he did sit back there, they did a really good job of protecting him. I don't feel like he was under duress on those times where they dropped him back 5 steps, 7 steps, whatever the case may be. Bottom line is, as you just mentioned, 3rd and 16, that was the game essentially. 3rd and 16, you put yourself in a position to get off the field, get the ball back to the offense. You're down 4 with a chance to win, and you give up a first down. You give up 18. You don't want to win the game. That right there, that didn't happen to us last year. But we didn't play Justin Herbert and quarterbacks like him last year. That felt like some 2016, 2017 Washington bullshit defense where it didn't matter. It could be 3rd and a mile and we were going to give it up. I was never confident on 3rd downs today. Hell, Keenan Allen had a drop on a 3rd down that would have given them a first down. They should have been probably legitimately 16 of 18 on 3rd down. They dropped some passes on 3rd down. We were not good defensively in this game. Thank you for the super chat, Rob U. Red Wings 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, even after that last LATD, we had a shot to drive it back down, but Sheriff decided to pick up Morgan Moses' old traditions. He had 2 penalties in this game, some big ones too. Like you just mentioned, the false start on a 3rd and 4 to make it 3rd and 9. Then Dustin Hopkins misses. If that field goal were attempted from 5 yards up closer, he'd have made it. That thing squeezed towards the left right at the end. Had that field goal been kicked from 46 instead of 51, it's good. Not to make any excuses. Make the damn field goal. It's 51 yards. That's supposed to be a kick, very makeable for 100% of the kickers in the league. Make the kick. But Brandon Sheriff hurt us today. He had 2 big penalties. 2 big penalties in this game. And the penalties were we didn't have a ton of penalties. I don't want to make it seem like we were, absolutely egregious with the penalties. But they were some very untimely penalties. They weren't on 1st and 10. These were penalties on 3rd down. These were penalties on 2nd down on a drive that we had to have, and we were killing ourselves with penalties. The penalty on the punt, the last punt of the game by Tressway, when they were pinned inside their 10-yard line, and then you get a holding penalty on us that pushes it forward, and now they're starting at like their 18-yard line instead of their own 8. Like, the penalties were very untimely. We didn't have a ton of them, but the ones we had were impactful, and they impacted the game. Thank you for the super chat, Red Wings 01. Jake Willis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jake, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, the game plan for our pass rush, and he said they game plan for our pass rush, and we had no answer for it. Blame goes to the coaches. Look, we're going to get that a lot of time. We're going to get the quick passing game. We're going to get them to teams getting the ball out of their quarterback's hands because they know our defense can get home. But my thing is, when they don't go quick passing game, we still weren't hitting home necessarily. So it's 3rd and 16, and Justin Herbert had time to build a house back there. These are the things that bother me. We can sit here and make excuses about the coaches didn't do this, they didn't do that, but it's 3rd and 16. Go make a play. Somebody make a play. Anybody make a play. It's 3rd and 16. Zone, man. I don't give a shit what the call is. They shouldn't be getting 16 yards. And was that some soft zone coverage? You're damn right it was. Too damn soft, if you ask me. Nobody should be that wide open on 3rd and 16. Over the middle of the football field, no less. If you're going to rush 4, make sure that the 7 guys in coverage are strategically placed on the football field. It didn't happen. That aside, where's the damn pass rush? Somebody step up, make something happen. Anybody. Nobody did. At some point, you can't blame the coaches. The guys on the field have to make a play. They didn't make a play today. And I'm not going to beat up the young fellas. You know, Sam Cosme was getting his ass whooped early. He adjusted. He was fine later on in the game. Benjamin St. Juste got picked on. He's supposed to. He's a rookie. It's baptism by fire. I told you he's going to get his fair share of completions on his head. The touchdown, the game-winning touchdown. What do you want? It's a great throw. It's a great route. Everything was perfect on that play. What you want Benjamin St. Juste to do? It is what it is. Thank you for the super chat, Jake Willis. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat, Metaphor. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for your membership as an MOBB member. Metaphor writes, for F our comments, Lou. Rant on, I want to be mad. No, I can't F the comments. I'll save that for tomorrow's episode of Washington Football Nightly. You guys, I want to hear your voice because you're going to hear mine plenty. Trust me. Thomas Carter, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Thomas, who writes, that fumble from Gibson hurt bad. It did. Indeed, it did. Ron punting the ball, shaking my head. I didn't have a problem with that. I know a lot of people, hindsight is 20/20. And I know Jay Feely, who was doing the game, didn't like the call in the moment. I didn't have a problem with it because if you trust your defense, which, and Feely made a great point, and I was right there with him. I wanted to believe in this defense's ability to step up at the moment that we needed them the most. I wanted to believe in their ability to step up. So I didn't have a problem with it, but Feely said the Chargers have been moving the football all day long. Like, why are you punting this ball like they still can't move it on your ass? Fair point. I can't argue with that. The 14 of 18 on 3rd down speaks volumes. I don't need to explain to you that they were having their way, including probably 5 of 5 on 3rd down on the final drive of the game to put it away. So, again, I understand anyone out there that says that was a bad decision on 4th and 7 from your own, from the Chargers 40-yard line to punt the football. I understand. You're not going to get any argument out of me. I just agreed with one. I agreed with Ron. I did. I thought it was the right move. Put the defense on the field, get a stop, maybe flip field position, and have an opportunity to get the football back right around where you gave it up. I didn't have a problem with it. But again, how about you get a stop on 3rd and 16? He says, end of the day, lost to good QB play. We can build and get better. Last year, we would have gotten blown out. We wouldn't have gotten blown out last year. Last year, this team showed resolve. That's one of the things that has me very optimistic about this team. But to your point, there are takeaways positive from this game. Taylor Heineke probably being the best of them. Felt like he came in and gave us a spark. 10, what did I say? Didn't I say 10 unanswered points were going to be scored at some point in this game by Washington? I think that actually happened. We were down 13-9 at halftime. No, it wasn't. It was, he got the field goal before half, and then we got the touchdown. Yeah, it was 10 unanswered points because we were down 13-6. We got the field goal, then we got the touchdown, took the lead 16-13, and that was the last time we were scoring the game. I didn't think that was going to be the last time that we scored in the game with Heineke being hot and his offense starting to gain confidence. But when the defense can't get stops, that's what happens. You know what I mean? When the defense, like literally, think about this. I'm going to just say this. We can go to the next comment. Think about this. The 2 turnovers we forced, both of them came damn near by our own end zone. You know why? Because the Chargers had driven this damn football all the way down the field. The fumble in the end zone, out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The interception, our drive started at the 3-yard line. I think it was the 3-yard line. You know why? Because they were driving the damn ball. We weren't getting off the field to get it back to a hot offense. I talk about shutdown drives. After your offense scores, You need the ball back immediately. They're hot. They want it again. What do we let the Chargers do? Move the shit down the field on another 10-plus play drive before forcing the turnover. It was disgusting. The defense was today on third downs. Disgusting. Thank you for the super chat, Thomas Carter. Jose Martin. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Jose Martin, writes, 1 sack. Shaking my head. I don't like when expectations are high for us. Look, the short passing game was prevalent, and their offensive line did a really good job. They did a really good job. Justin Herbert's a good football player, and their receivers got open. So he didn't have to hold on to it for a hell of a long time. You know, he trusted his arm, he trusted his guys, and they made plays. Meanwhile, our guys didn't. You know, except for Terry, who I didn't think got nearly enough targets in this game. That's another discussion and another story for another day. This has nothing to do with expectations. The expectations have been semi-set for Washington. Doesn't mean we still can't hit them. You guys do realize it's just one game, right? We weren't going 17-0 this year. The 1 sack isn't something that I'm going to just harp over. I'm not gonna, you know, belay the point. My problem is the simple fact that if the defense isn't hitting home, we still need the secondary to do something. That's what they get paid to do. Not give up easy completions, not have guys be 5 yards wide open and catch it with another 5 yards of space after they catch it. Still having issues with tight ends, guys running wide open through the secondary. You know, Keenan Allen over 100. We came into the game knowing Keenan Allen was a third down slot machine, and we had no answer. If anybody was going to beat us, it was going to have to be Jared Cook, and it was going to have to be Mike Williams. It wasn't going to be Keenan Allen consistently on third downs. Not one of our corners, I think, is capable of covering him one-on-one. Maybe William Jackson. Maybe. So on a third down, if he's in the slot, I'm bracketing him. Linebackers got inside, corners got outside. You're going to have to beat me, bro. You're going to have to beat me with somebody else. And yet we continuously let this man shred us in man-to-man situation after man-to-man situation on third downs. Shred us. And then when we play zone, shred us. Take 13 away. We didn't do it. We didn't do it. I guarantee you, of his probably 11 catches on the day, because he had a boatload of catches, I'd say 6 to 7 of them were on third downs to move the sticks. Make an adjustment. Rob, thank you for doubling up. Double up. Who writes, can Terry get the damn ball? Good things. I just said that. It's crazy that you bring that up. I literally just said that. It was a travesty that this man didn't have a single target in the first half. How is that possible? That your best receiver, I've always said, and you guys have heard me say this before, and I'm going to say it a million more times because this is my philosophy. If I were a head coach, this is how I would start my football game. I'm going to get the ball in my best player's hands on the first possession of the game. I want him to be in the rhythm of the game immediately. Not immediately, immediately. Okay? And I'm not saying the first play of the game, but he's going to touch it in the first quarter at some point. We will not go a full 2 quarters of football before we even look his way. That doesn't make any sense to me. And as you just said, when he gets the football or it's thrown in his direction, because I don't know what in the hell kind of moon ball that was Taylor Heineke threw up to him. That's a hell of a catch, though. Good things happen when you get the ball to 17. I don't know how and why they didn't get it to him more. And I got to watch the film, so I'm not going to jump on Scott Turner, but this didn't feel like a good Scott Turner game. It didn't feel like a great called game by Scott Turner. But I got to go watch the film before I make that accusation. Film study will be important this week. So if you're not a member of Patreon to get that film breakdown, now's the time to do it. Thank you for the super chat, Rob. Dejan Bell, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, get Bostic out of here. He's buns. I mean, at this point, what are we going to do? He's here. We don't have anybody to replace him. Is he good? No, he's not. And I'm pretty sure the film will bear that out. But he's what we've got. And at this point, it is what it is. I'm not going to continue to beat a dead horse. We did that all last year, hoping that he wouldn't be starting this year. He's still starting. It's too early in the season to be crying about John Bostic. So, yeah. Anyway, Dennis Bartholomew, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Dennis writes, Terry with the catch of the year. Thus far, I haven't watched all the other games. I don't know how you top that in week one. I know that. I mean, that's a ridiculous grab by Terry McLaurin for sure, which furthers the point and hammers it home that you got to get him the football. He's got to get more opportunities, man. Joseph's Journey. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, was Ron high in the fourth quarter? I don't know what you're referencing as far as the decision making. Obviously, one of the things you're probably talking about is the decision to punt on 4th and 7 from the Chargers 40-yard line. I told you I didn't have a problem with it, but if you had a problem with it, I get it. I totally get it. The timeout usage, I didn't have a problem with how he used his timeouts. I would have called the timeout after the play with 2:43 left. I would have called my first timeout there, but it didn't matter. They got the first down anyway, so who gives a shit? You know, you're crying over something that really had, no impact on the game because the defense didn't get to stop no way, so it didn't matter. Red Wings 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, I'm not giving up. It's week one. I mean, the fact that you even have to say that speaks volumes as to where this fan base sometimes can go after. It's a week-to-week league, and this is a week-to-week fan base. Really, it is. Because we shouldn't be talking about giving up in week one. You shouldn't even have to say that. Why do you even need to say that? You feel compelled to say that because probably somewhere in your subconscious, you're starting to doubt, you're starting to worry, and you're listening to a lot of people who fly off the handle on every single play. I had people in the MOBB after the first drive when the Chargers marched down the field and scored a touchdown saying, same old Redskins, same shit, we're garbage again. Like, if that's you, I don't know what else to say to you. I don't have many words for you. If you're talking about not being worried after 1 week, if this were 34-3, then those types of words should be uttered. We lost by 4 in a game that we had ample opportunities to win. I don't think this is a cause for concern other than looking at the defense in particular and saying, hey, what the F? 14 of 18 on third downs, really? Third and 16 on a definitive drive of the game. You can't get off the field. 5 of 5 on the final drive when the offense needed the ball back. Really? Yeah. That's if you want to go somewhere, go there defensively. Like, hey, we thought you guys were better than this. And I think they will be. But remember, all of you who wanted to praise this defense, I told you they didn't see real quarterbacks last season. They took advantage of that, and that's what you're supposed to do. But what happens when they turn the heat up on our ass in the quarterback department? Are they still going to look dominant? Right now, the first test, we failed defensively. We got 16 more tests this season. 16. Plenty of opportunities to pass with flying colors. But the first test they slid in front of us, we failed. Okay, back to the drawing board. We'll study harder. Quick turnaround against Daniel Jones and the Giants. Let's see if we can't pass the test Thursday night. Thank you for the super chat. Let me go back to your comment. I didn't finish it. He says, it's week one, and it went the way I expected. We got beat. Time to pick ourselves up and get back to work. But next week is a must win. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I told you that you couldn't come out of this first 2 games at home 0-2. You fall to 0-2 on the season, and you put yourself in a corner that isn't going to really favor you being in the discussion in this division moving forward, because the schedule only gets tougher from here on out. It's not going to get any easier. We've got to win on Thursday night against the Giants. We lose that game, and now Thursday is not code red, but you lose that game, and it's now officially code red. Week 3 against the Bills on the road. You don't want to be in that position where you got to go to Buffalo and win. And they're pissed off because they lost the game to Pittsburgh today that they should have won. So you don't want to go to Buffalo needing to win. You want to win. You don't want to go there having to win to avoid 0-3. So I'm with you wholeheartedly. Agree with that comment. Thank you for the super chat. RJ Enigma, greatly appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, this week hurt, Lou. I'm 50-50 win-loss ratio, and my bad on the typo on CashApp. LOL. Oh, it's all good, man. You're all good. I knew exactly what you meant. You don't have to apologize for that. This one stings a bit because it's a winnable game. And these are the types of games we're going to be in. And what did we talk about? Dustin Hopkins is going to have to score. Well, he left 3 points out there. These are the games we're not good enough to blow anybody out. No one. We're going to have to win these close games. We're 0 for 1. We'll see where we go from here. Got a new member, Billy A. Thank you for your membership. Greatly appreciate you. See if we can't find out what type of member you are, Billy. Let's see. I can't see it, but it doesn't matter. Billy, stand up. You are definitely in the building. Welcome to the MOBB, Billy A. Thank you for your membership, Mob. You know what to do. Show Billy A some love and welcome him to the MOBB. Yin Yang Experience, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, that offensive line looks top on LA, or was our D line slacking? Their offensive line did a really good job. They had a great game plan. They really did. I got to watch the film. I don't want to sit here and make up stuff about what did or didn't happen. I don't know what the protection was. They could have kept in an extra defender or a blocker, excuse me. I can tell you this without going back and watching the film. They got the football out of Herbert's hands very quickly, early in this game. But there were times where he sat back there and there was no pressure, and he didn't get rid of it quickly, like the 3rd and 16, where he was able to build a house. The Red Sea literally parted, and he had a direct, clear line of vision to get the football to Keenan Allen. It probably was a combination of both. Our D-line wasn't great, and their offensive line played well. Valmont Smart, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Valmont Smart, who writes, first of all, thank you for being a MOBB member. He says, Carter, very good on returns. Gibby looked good minus fumble. Taylor looked good. Juice played well for a rookie with who he was going up against, and Bobby McCain looked good too. I agree with just about every statement. I gotta watch on Bobby though. I didn't. Bobby was flying around, but Bobby didn't make a play. He was a part of a secondary that pretty much got torched the entire afternoon. So hard for me to single out anybody individually in that secondary and say they played well. Everybody got their fair share of getting their asses handed to them by Justin Herbert and that Chargers wide receiver, well, really skilled position group, because the tight ends hurt us too, especially Jared Cook. So hard for me to give out any accolades in that secondary. William Jackson did get the interception. That's nice. But again, I thought there were a lot more opportunities for the Chargers, and guys dropped passes. Mike Williams dropped a touchdown in the end zone. They ultimately had to settle for a field goal on that possession. Like, they could have scored more. They had opportunities to be even better than they were, and they had some drop passes. This secondary was not good in this football game, but it was a reflection of having really no pass rush either. So, yeah. Rob Yu, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Rob Yu, writes, WJ3 was by far my favorite offseason addition. He settled down as the game went on. Juice will get there, but damn, I heard Fuller's number too often. Like I said, Justin Herbert was an equal opportunity offender. He was going after our entire secondary. He was not biased. He didn't just pick on Juice. Kendall Fuller got some. William Jackson III got some, had a penalty on a 3rd down. They all got some. Every single one of them. Everybody in the secondary. Landon Collins got some. Cam Curl got some. Everybody got some. Nobody was absolved from Justin Herbert making them look like they were pedestrian back there. And again, some of that starts with the secondary. The pass rush not hitting home. AfroCat 2136, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. AfroCat 2136 writes, 3 and 5 plus no Bostic, please, shaking my damn head. 3-5 plus no bye. I don't even know what that means. But Bostic, again, we could try to blame John Bostic for a lot of the woes of this defense. Nah, I don't buy it. I can't say what he should have done or not. I got to watch the film. I see this comment here, and I apologize. I spent $30 in super chats and you missed all of them. I can't control that. When you get these super chats in here at the very beginning with the comments, and there's 700 people in here and everybody's commenting, I hate the fact that they don't save the super chats. They don't save the comments. They just go away. If too many comments come, it just runs it out of there instead of holding the comments there. So there's nothing I can do, because normally I talk for the first 20, 25 minutes. I didn't do that today because I didn't want to miss any super chats, and I still missed them. It's just a lot of people commenting after a game. So I apologize for that, but there's nothing I can do personally about that. Got any grapes? Only thing I can tell you is, and I'll try to be better about this when I first come on, is I won't give you any analysis. I won't talk about how I feel. I just get to the super chats. I'll get straight to the super chats. And I probably should do that because I got a whole show tomorrow to talk about what I felt. But, you know, I also like to give you what I felt in a quick condensed format at the beginning of the show. But when it's a game like this, where there's a lot to be said and a lot of emotions, I probably should just get to the super chats. And that's something I'll take into consideration next time. So I apologize for that. Got any grapes? Thank you for the super chat, who writes, bunch of Carl Thomas in here. So emotional. So emotional. And I can't let go. It's a lot. Look, football and sports in general are emotional games. They tug on your heartstrings. You ride this roller coaster of emotion on every single snap, especially when you get into a close ball game like this. That said, it's the first game of the season. Some of you are already diving off the deep end. Like, relax. He says it's one game against a good team. It's one game against a quality opponent. I don't know how good the Chargers really are. I don't know. I just know they're not garbage. I do know that. The Chargers may end up being 8-9 this year, 7-10. And we may look back on that and say, that was a winnable game. I don't need to know what the Chargers end up. They could end up 14-3 this year. This is a winnable game. Bottom line. Very winnable. Excuse me. Aaron Peterson, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, who writes, where was the motivation and the will to win the defense that we were hoping for? Checked out very, very early. Disappointing. We deserve better play. Yeah, we deserve better from the defense. They weren't good today. Flat out. If you ask me why we lost this game, I wouldn't even put Gibby's fumble at the top of the list. I put the defense's inability to get off the field on third downs at the top of the list. Dustin Hopkins' missed field goal isn't second on the list. It's the defense's inability to get stops, killing the time of possession and skewing it in the favor. And I haven't seen time of possession, but I guarantee you it is a very, very big discrepancy between them and us. The 14 of 18 on third downs, you can't win in this league doing that. No way, no how. So that would be first. Gibby's fumble is second. Untimely penalties, third. And then Hopkins' missed field goal is a problem. So the defense was definitely the main culprit in this loss, without a doubt. We deserve better. And I think they will be better. But this was not a good start. CJ Shoots Photos. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. CJ Shoots Photos. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, our third down defense was horrid. Can't stop them at all. Time to step up and keep blowing it. Gibby cost the game with the fumble, giving away easy points. Yeah, that was a hurtful fumble, but the defense could have come out and they were one play away from forcing a field goal attempt or forcing them to go for it on fourth down and maybe getting a stop. The defense could have rose up to the occasion. For all the shit that they didn't do in this game, they had a chance on a 3rd and goal from about the 4-yard line to get a stop, and they didn't. So Again, yeah, Gibby's fumble wasn't a scoop and score. The defense had a chance to respond. Look, they didn't have a lot of green grass to defend, but they defended it all the way to third down and then gave up a touchdown. So, again, we can sit here and talk about Gibby's fumble being the reason we lost. No, the defense's inability to get the ball back to the offense is the reason we lost this game. We scored 16 points. Who are you beating with 16 points? You know why we scored 16 points? Because the offense never had the damn ball. That's why. Oh, and by the way, field goals don't win games, touchdowns do. They scored 2, we scored 1. That's how you lose in this league. They scored 2 touchdowns, we scored 1, and we settled for field goals. You want to lose the game? Go kick field goals. That's how you lose ball games. Red Wings 01, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, and thank you for tripling up. My guy Red Wings 01 writes, not playing Cam Curl for more than 10 snaps the entire game, even after Bobby was getting roasted, was inexcusable. Cam was balling. Cam was giving it up too, but he made some plays early in the game. I don't know snap counts. I don't know who was in, who was out. I can't tell you who was getting roasted and who wasn't. I just know this entire secondary wasn't good. I just know that. It's week 1. So you're going to get some miscues and some miscommunications. There were third downs. Jared Cook's running an outcut, and he's wide open on 3rd and 7, and there's nobody within a 10-mile radius of him. He catches it, turns up the field, and gets an additional 8 or 9. And I'm like, how is that possible that on 3rd and 7, somebody's that damn wide open? I chalk it up to week 1. I chalk it up to week 1. The defense, I think, will be better. But no excuses. We didn't get it done defensively. That's a good offense over there. That's a hell of a quarterback with a bunch of weapons to get it to. No excuses, though. You think you're elite? You think you're an upper echelon defense? Prove it. Yeah, you only gave up 20. They should have had 30. If we keep it at a buck, they should have had 30. Thank you for the super chat. Martin Matthews, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Double M, writes, hey, Louie, it was a good game. Cosme was great, and Juice got his lunch taken the whole game. If he can get his head turned around, he could have prevented a lot of those catches. It's hard as a cornerback to turn around and locate the ball when you're constantly in trail technique. When you're trailing the receiver, you're scared to turn around and locate the ball because when you turn your head, the ball could go over your head. So a lot of times these guys are taught in trail technique. Don't turn around. Don't locate. Just play the band. He starts to look for the ball. He starts to put his arms up to catch it. That's when you go swiping at the arm, put your hand in there in the cookie jar and see if you can't come away with something. The bottom line is Juice is a rookie. He's going to be baptized, period. Especially when you play against receivers the caliber that the Chargers can put out in the field and Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. He's going to get beat. He got bodied up. He's a big dude, but he's still frail. He's 200 pounds. He's 6'3", but he's 200 pounds. He got bodied up by a 6'3", 225-pound receiver. That's what Mike Williams does. Bodies dudes up. I'm not mad at that. At the end of the day, Cosme got better as the game wore on, but there are a lot of coaching points after this game for a lot of guys. A lot of guys need to be coached up. Thank you for the super chat, Martin Matthews. Contraband Truth, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Contraband Truth, who writes, St. Juice gets a pass, but Kendall Fuller has to tighten the hell up. Again, I'm not going to roast anybody. The secondary collectively needs to be better. All of them. Not a single guy deserves praise and accolades today. William Jackson did get the interception. He was in tight coverage for most of the day. Even when he gave up completions, they were tightly contested. Outside of him, felt like everybody else was just kind of out there, not really, making anything happen. So, we'll see what happens. The film is going to be huge because you can't really know watching the TV copy what the hell is actually going on until you start watching the film and you see, okay, this is the look they gave us. This is the look we gave them. Who was responsible for what? Why are you so far off? Why is it taking you so long to get out of your bat pedal? Can't you plant and drive any faster than that? Where are your eyes on this play? Things of that nature. the film will tell the story, but there were too many times guys were wide open on third downs. It just felt like it was too easy. Felt like pitch and catch at times for Justin Herbert and his receivers. And it shouldn't be that way. The Great Watubi, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. The Great Watubi writes, how were the receivers so wide open? I just said that. It's crazy that you bring that up. I literally just said that. Bad linebacker or DB play. Were we in the zone the entire game? No, it wasn't a strictly zone game, but we're a primarily zone defensive team. But we were in man at times, and we got torched because of it too. You know, the William Jackson, the third down pass interference, that was man-to-man coverage. You know, and a lot of times zone converts to man anyway. So you're playing off, you're playing cover three, a guy eats up your cushion, you got the deepest third, he runs into your third of the field. You're essentially in man coverage now. That's your guy. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we just weren't very good. Their guys were better than us, period. A lot of the throws we saw, back shoulders, things of that nature, trust throws, that was man-to-man, tight coverage, better throw, better catch. You know, some of it was, but some of them, you look on some of these third downs, you're like, why is that guy that wide open? What are we doing? How is that possible? Anyway, J Mart, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy J Mart writes, RB1 has a fumbling problem. Can't express enough how bad coaching is on both sides of the ball. I'm scouting the Giants right now. Did we waste $10 million? Waste $10 million on who exactly? Who we paying $10 million to this year that you feel like it was a waste of money? I don't think he has a fumbling issue. I think he needs to be more cognizant of protecting the football. He was too loosey-goosey with it today. A lot of the ball swinging out here like this, and I'm like, hey, bro, put it away. You know, the first one that he fumbled by the sidelines that ultimately went out of bounds, after that, you think he would be a little bit more aware. But he wasn't. I don't like that. And I think Randy Jordan needs to get in his ass about ball security, because I saw a lot of this last year with him, you know? And yeah, I get it. He's still, you know, relatively new to the running back position. That doesn't have anything to do with ball security. Put the ball away. Put the ball away. You taking a hit? Put the ball away. Got another new member to the MOBB. PJ White, stand up. You are officially in the building as a brand new member of the MOBB. Really appreciate you, PJ White. Mob, you know what to do. Show PJ some love. Welcome to the MOBB. Thank you for your membership. Same can be said for the Great Watubi. Stand up. The Great Watubi, you are now officially in the building, the brand new member of the MOBB. Mob, welcome both of these guys into the mob with open arms. Show them some love. And Great Watubi, thank you for becoming a member of the squad. Let's see. Got one here from Twin D. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB and for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Twin D, who writes, man, I know the Chargers had some quick reads, but Bosa looked different as compared to our pass rush. And I think our snap count must have been very predictable, because we jumped off sides multiple times, yet Bosa is timing up our snap, coming off the edge like he shot out of a damn cannon, and we don't catch him off sides not a single time. Somebody help me. Explain to me these things. I can't be the only one seeing this. He's getting just the greatest jump off the snap. And I'm like, poor Cosme. Luckily he's a tremendous athlete. He's having to bust his ass to get up the field just to push him around the pocket. This guy is literally shooting out of his stance like he's in a track meet. And I'm like, y'all got to switch up the damn snap count. Why is he timing our shit up so well? Anyway, I digress. Let's see. Got one here from DMV Pride 10. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. DMV Pride 10 writes, I would have still drafted Chase over Herbert, but damn, I hope we can get a quarterback that can make all the throws like that in the next couple of years. I mean, after watching that could you really say you would have taken Chase over Herbert after watch? I mean, I've already watched him. I know what this guy is. I feel the same way that you do. I wanted Chase then. I don't regret the decision. But obviously, knowing what we know now, you take Herbert in a heartbeat. Like, it's not up for debate. You take the quarterback. As much as I love Chase Young, I love Chase Young more than Herbert in that draft. I wasn't a Justin Herbert fan. So there was no way I would have even considered Herbert at that moment. And obviously we had Dwayne. But knowing what we know now, that Dwayne was a complete and utter bust and Herbert turned out to be the real deal, there's no way you take him over, Chase over Herbert. You take Herbert. But that's what you're looking for. If you're going to spend a first-round pick on a quarterback, you want a guy to look like that, period. And those don't grow on trees, by the way. He's 6'6", 230, rifle for a right arm, the intellect to make all the plays, and the legs to extend if need be. That doesn't grow on trees. Let's see. Enigma RJ, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Who writes, it's tough we lost, but I'm glad we got a real test for real. Waiting to see what we do to adjust. I trust the process. You want to learn, and you want to learn while winning at the same time. That'd be the most ideal situation, is you learn lessons, valuable lessons while winning. It's easier to coach that way. It's harder, to learn. You're going to still learn whether you win or you lose, but it's harder to keep the morale of the guys up when you keep preaching to them this, that, and the third, and the results aren't there. Not saying that that's what's happening here in Washington. It's just easier to make the adjustments while you're winning. Guys are more receptive to the information that they're being given. But at the end of the day, you got to find a way to get it done, man. This was a very winnable game at home, and we didn't get it done. That's what stinks. Very winnable game. Very, very winnable. Against a team that was accustomed to losing these types of ball games over the last 4 or 5 years. We didn't get it done. AfroCat 2136. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. AfroCat, who writes, jet sweep action 5 or 6 times. No jet sweep. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. That was a problem for me last year. A lot of ghosts, jet sweep. I was waiting for one of those times we were in the gun with, DeAndre Carter going in motion for them to just catch it and toss it to him. Something along those lines. They're probably saving all that stuff for Curtis Samuel. But DeAndre Carter is fully capable. As we saw today, he looked really good. Like, give the defense something else to think about. Don't just have a guy running in motion a million times and never get it to him. I agree with you, AfroCat. Like, I'm not agreeing with the Scotty doesn't know portion, but yeah, jet sweep, ghost motion 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times in the game, and we never give it to the guy. At some point, you got to give the defense, and maybe we'll do that next week. You got to give the defense something else to think about. Let's see. Will Morales, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Will. Thank you so much for the super chat. Sniper Players, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, I told y'all got to have 25.6 points to beat good teams. And we didn't even, and the crazy part is we didn't even need that today to get the win. 23 would have sufficed. If you want to be technical, 21 would have, but the Chargers had other opportunities. 21 wouldn't have been enough. 23 would have probably gotten us a win today. I really think 23 or 24. 24 probably wins the game. 23 might have got you to overtime. 24 probably wins you this football game. But we needed 27. And we're picking up right where we left off last year with the inability to score, 30 points. Couldn't even make it to 20 today. And I've already said, you're not beating, 2/3, maybe even upwards of 3/4 of the league when you scored south of 20 points. You can't score 20. Who the hell do you think you're going to beat anyway? There aren't many teams that are going to allow you to score 16 and you come out victorious. J Mark, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, J Mark, who writes, Carter was a breath of fresh air at kick and punt returner. Foster, question mark. Who are we talking about? Are you talking about Reuben Foster? Like, who are you talking about? As far as if you're looking to add people to this team, you shouldn't be. They obviously aren't looking to add anybody right now. They're not. Now, Kyle Allen is going to probably be added to the active roster, obviously after the injury, but they're not looking to add anybody to this roster. They had chances to do that already. So I don't know what Foster you're mentioning. We don't have a Foster on the team. We had two Fosters last year, Reuben Foster, even though he was on IR, and then we had Robert Foster, but neither one of them are here. So I'm assuming you're talking about Reuben Foster. No, don't look for it. Nick Forbush, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Nick writes, what did today tell you about Sam Cosmi? I got to watch the tape. I got to watch the film, but I like his resilience. And this is what we knew. He was an athletic freak as a tackle. And he showed it today on a number of occasions. I can't tell you how many times Boza timed up our snap and looked like he was shot out of a damn cannon. And Cosmi had to use cat-like reflexes to then beat him to the spot and push him around to give the quarterback a chance, just a fighting chance. I thought early on he looked like he did in the first preseason game. Like, it was a lot going on in his mind. His heart rate was probably, through the roof, and his heart was beating through his chest. But I thought he settled in nicely, man. I thought he was fine over there. Again, just off of first blush, I may go back and watch and say Sam Cosmi was outstanding, or I might come back and say Sam Cosmi, good God, he was beaten on several occasions. He was going up against Boza, man, for the most part today, which is not an easy task at all. I thought for who he was going up against and how little we called his name after, early pressure, I'd like to say that, without watching, Cosmi probably played really well today. And is going to be just fine at right tackle. That's the overarching thing. He's going to be just fine. Robert Best, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Robert writes, peace and blessings, Louie T. Likewise, longtime subscriber, listener, and first-time super chatter. Really appreciate you, Robert. Great to hear from you. He says, Fitzpatrick out for a month. Sign Cam. You may hear that from some fans. I don't think Cam Newton changes the prospects of this football team. I'm dying to see what Taylor Heineke has for us. I thought he played well, man. I really did. There's no reason to go out and sign anybody to come in here when you got Heineke, who we want to see what he's capable of, and you still got Kyle Allen. Like, do you need a third quarterback? Yeah, sure. Bring in a third quarterback. It's not going to be Cam Newton as a third quarterback, and I don't want Steven Montez back. So, you find a guy out there for the time being that just gives you just a little bit of peace of mind that if something were to happen to Heineke, you got a guy that's been here for a few weeks, that's, had an opportunity to digest what it is we do. And you hope you don't have to go there, but we're not off to a great start if we don't want to play 4 quarterbacks this year. Not a great start, but hopefully Heineke stays upright and shows us something. And I think he could actually have an opportunity to grab the reins and be the guy if Fitz is out for more than a couple of weeks. If Heineke comes in, plays exceptional, and we win both games, it's going to be hard to turn the reins back over to Ryan Fitzpatrick. So this is an opportunity for Heineke. That's all he could ask for, is an opportunity. He's going to get it, I believe. Now what does he do with it? Antoine Newell, thank you for the membership. Stand up, Antoine. You are officially a brand new member of the MOBB mob. Y'all know what time it is. Antoine, welcome to the MOBB. Thank you for your membership. Greatly appreciate you. Got another super chat here. This one is from Dewan Porch. Thank you for the super chat. Dewan, who writes, we got to do better. Gibby hurt us. Pass rush, thumbs down. All of those things are 100% spot on. Got to play better, especially on defense. Gibby hurt us with the fumble, and the pass rush was pretty much non-existent today. It was a disappointment. And we knew the Chargers were going to get rid of the football quickly, but one of my keys to the game was we had to get to Herbert early and often, and they didn't do that at all. Quite the opposite if we're keeping score at home. Thank you for the super chat, Dewan Porch. Got one here from William Lee. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, William. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, I think that our defense thought they would just show up and win the game because of last year's success, but they got smacked in the mouth. I don't think that's what the defense thought. I just think they got out schemed. I think they got outplayed. And I don't know what they thought this Chargers team was going to be and what they were going to do, but they knew that Justin Herbert was the real deal. They knew that. They knew that. And Ron, I'm pretty sure, Ron, by the way he spoke at his presser this week, I'm pretty sure he laid out to the team and the defense in particular just how good this kid was and what we were in store for, and that we were going to have to play some top-notch ball if we wanted to get the win. And they didn't do that. You know, we even got a backup right tackle in the game. Brian Balaga went down with an injury, and we only were able to take advantage of him one time with that forced fumble by Montez Sweat. That's it. We weren't able to take advantage of a backup right tackle coming into the game. That's frustrating. Now, they probably helped him. I got to go back and watch. They might have said, you know what? You won't get our quarterback on 3rd and 16. They might have kept the back end to chip. But I can just tell you, with a backup right tackle, I didn't see us taking advantage of that. So, really frustrating. Antoine Newell, thank you for becoming a brand new member of the MOBB. Greatly appreciate you for the super chat as well, who writes, I feel pretty good with our run game. I feel like we should have played man on those third and long or long third down conversions. I mean, I'm a man guy, period. I like man coverage, especially in shorter down and distance situations. The longer down and distances, I don't have a problem with zone, but you need to get there. You can't have a guy's, sitting back there for 10 years because somebody's going to end up sitting down in a nice soft spot in the zone. And I told you, we don't pattern match well at all in zone coverage. That's never been our thing. We're not a smart defense a lot of times. But that said, on 3rd and 5, I don't want to be playing zone coverage. I want to be playing man. I want tight man coverage. Make him turn down his first option. Make him go to the second read. Make him make a tight window throw. Too often, we're often soft on 3rd and 5 and 6, and he's getting easy, pitch and catch throws to convert, move the sticks. And I'm like, that's bad. That's bad defense. That's bad philosophy. But 3rd and 16, I don't mind zone coverage. But you can't have a guy that wide open on 3rd and 16. That reminded me of the 3rd and 14 against the Browns last year. If you guys remember that, we had some momentum. Last play of the 3rd quarter, we blitzed a guy. I call it the moon blitz. We blitzed a guy from the safety position from the moon that was never going to get there in time. And Baker Mayfield found Odell Beckham Jr. over the middle of the football field for an easy 3rd down conversion on 3rd and 14. That felt similar to this. It wasn't a blitz, but we got zero pressure, wide open guy over the middle of the football field, and he's able to pick up the first down. It's sickening. Sickening. Brian Hancock, thank you for becoming a member of the MOBB. Stand up, Brian. You are officially a brand new member of the Mob Squad. Mob, you know what to do. Brian, thank you for your membership and becoming a member of the squad. Welcome aboard. Jenny Perez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Jenny writes, hi, Lou. Hi, Jenny. Hopefully this game will be incentive for Washington to get better and would be nice to beat the Giants Thursday. We'll see. I got no doubts. I'm 100% certain we're beating the Giants on Thursday. The needle has not moved for me. I am not waffling. I am not moving off of the spot. I walk away from this game disappointed in the defense, but this is what the defense was last year. They weren't giving up, 83% on 3rd downs to a team that had 18 attempts. They weren't that. But when we saw good offenses, when we saw good quarterbacks, we got shredded. Do I need to remind you of that? Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, they shredded us last year. The only respectable quarterback that didn't shred us was Ben Roethlisberger. And he had his moments where he was carving the defense up early in the game. But, when we saw real quarterbacks last year, we got our asses handed to us. So this is not surprising. It's not. We got to be better, though. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, my guy, Metaphor. Double up. Right. Thank you for doubling up. JP probably could have been in earlier to contribute. I didn't have a problem. You know who I think didn't get enough snaps? JD McKissick. We didn't throw it to him. Did he have a completion in this game? Did he have a catch? I should say not a completion. Did he have a catch? Did he even have a target? Did JD McKissick? Like, who are these people anyway? Like, what is Scott Turner doing? I know they want Antonio Gibson to become Christian McCaffrey. He's not McCaffrey, though. We have a very capable pass-catching running back in J.D. McKissick. Where was he? Like, who are these people? Like, what is going on? Terry McLaurin, no target in the first half. J.D. McKissick, a non-factor. The guy that led the team in receptions. Like, who are we on offense? What are we doing? I don't understand. I'm lost at some of the things that we decided to do today. I really am. And J.D. McKissick not being a part of the game plan, essentially, and that's kind of a bleeding over from the preseason, because remember I said, man, you know who's not getting a lot of reps? J.D. McKissick. But I said, you know, they know what J.D. is, so they don't need to see him. We didn't see J.D. McKissick today either. What's up with that? And Terry not having a target in the first half. Those two things for me are inexplicable. I can't live with that. There's nothing you can say to me that will make me think that that's okay. Sorry, not sorry. And I don't need to see Jarrett Patterson. I know a lot of you who have this love fest with him. Antonio Gibson was fine until he fumbled. He was fine. I want to see more J.D. McKissick getting opportunities. We throw a screen to Antonio Gibson. He doesn't catch it. It's not the greatest pass. There was pressure in Heineke's face immediately. Why is that not J.D. McKissick, though? That's all I'm saying. Like, why? J.D. should be touching the football. He's a dynamic player for us. He wins matchups one-on-one. Why is he not in the game? I digress. Brian Hancock, thank you for becoming a brand new member of the MOBB and for the super chat, who writes, man, I am a huge fan and disappointed in the mistakes we made. I also think things are going in the right direction. # trust the plan. I'm with you. I was disappointed because last year we were a very disciplined team. We didn't beat ourselves with penalties a lot of times. We hurt ourselves big time with some penalties. The Brandon Sheriff false start on a 3rd and 4 when we're driving, backbreaker, it leads to a field goal because we weren't good in 3rd and long situations. The only way we were converting 3rd downs in this game were either via penalty by Joey Bosa hitting the quarterback late, or it was 3rd and short. Anything over 3rd and 6, I don't know if we had one conversion of 3rd and 6 or more. We were awful on 3rd downs and long. So when that 3rd and 4 turned into 3rd and 9, I had zero confidence we were going to convert, even though Heineke's legs added a different dimension and gave me a little bit more hope. We just weren't good throwing the football today on 3rd and long situations. So I didn't have a lot of confidence when that 3rd and 4 went to 3rd and 9. The holding penalty on the punt that didn't even get returned, that's inexcusable. Gave them a breathing space to really operate their offense. That was a hurtful penalty. The Ryan Humphreys penalty might have been the biggest backbreaker of the game because it just absolutely killed the drive. You go from 2nd and I think we end up getting a gain of maybe 6. So you go from 3rd and maybe 2 or 3. Worst case scenario, 2nd and before the penalty was 2nd and maybe 8, 9 to 2nd and 23 or something like that. Like, I think it was either 2nd and 23 or 2nd and 20. What are we supposed to do? I mean, we were struggling all day to complete passes of more than 5 or 6 yards. Like, what are we going to do with 2nd and 20? We weren't getting chunks in this game. So that was a backbreaker, man. I'm with you. The mistakes we made in this game, the fumble, the penalties, the missed field goal, they were hurtful. And we're not good enough. I've talked about this. We're not good enough to overcome a bevy of mistakes. The Buccaneers, who are the defending Super Bowl champions, can turn it over 4 times and still win because they're that good and they got Tom Brady. We're not them. We can't afford to miss a field goal, have untimely penalties, and a fumble inside your own 5-yard line. We're not good enough to do that and overcome those mistakes and still win. By the way, and go and allow the other team's offense to go 14 of 18 on third downs, too, by the way. No, you're not going to win games like that. Thank you for the super chat, Brian Hancock. H. Lucas, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, for so much offensive talent, we put too much pressure on Gibby. We have to get a quicker start and stop the big plays on D. Mob Squad was lit today. It was. I had a great time in the Mob Squad today. Even though early in the game, a lot of people were waffling and they were ready to give up after the first drive by the Chargers, I thought it was a great time in the Mob as well. That said, I'm with you. Remember, one of my keys to the game was spread the wealth. Spread the rock around. Let everybody get a little touch and a little taste. That's not what happened today. They wanted to force Gibby down the throat. And look, I love the game plan of running it. I told you, establish the run. Why did I tell you that? They're light in the pants. We ran the football effectively. I got no problems with Scott Turner wanting to get Gibby involved on the ground. I thought it was a great game plan from that standpoint. Where I thought we struggled is we didn't spread the rock around on offense to the receivers and the skill guys. I mean, how many completions did Fitzpatrick have? I know Heineke only had 11. So there weren't a lot to go around. And, oh, by the way, we didn't have it a ton. I can't stress that enough. We didn't have it a ton. But when we did have it, I didn't feel like we spread the wealth. Cam Sims had 1 catch. Terry had, maybe 3 catches. Gibby had probably the most targets of anybody. That shouldn't be the case. He probably had the most targets of any receiver on the team. He's a running back. De'Ami Brown had a ton of targets early. I'm like, why are we force feeding it to our rookie when we got our number 1 receiver over here not even getting a look? De'Ami probably had, with Ryan Fitzpatrick in the game, De'Ami probably had 5 or 6 targets early in this game. I'm like, De'Ami's the rookie. Terry's the veteran stud. Am I not right, or do I have that backwards? Because we sure are forcing it to De'Ami like he's some kind of a beast. I did like the pass interference that he was able to draw, though. He was behind the defense. That was a terrible throw by Fitzpatrick. He double clutched it. Don't ask me why. But that's what speed can do for you. He got behind the defense. We got a cheapie, and it led to points. You need to turn that into a touchdown, though, not a field goal. Again, if you want to win, you got to score in the red zone. So you know where I'm going with that. Thank you for the super chat, H. Lucas. Antoine Newell, thank you for the super chat and doubling up. Who writes, did 52 get benched? I haven't seen him at all in the second half. I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. My focus was on the defensive line and could we get pressure? Could we stop the run, force them into 3rd and long? And the answer was no. So I saw Jamin do a couple of nice things early in the game, but when we go to nickel, he's not on the field. So you might have been not seeing him in the second half because the Chargers might have been in their 3 wide receiver set in 11 personnel a ton, which a lot of times would prompt Washington to take one of their backers off the field if they decide to go to nickel. So that might have been what you were seeing, was them spreading us out and us deciding to, combat that with, nickel personnel, which would take a backer off the field. And that backer is right now Jamin Davis, not John Bostic. So that could be the case. But again, I got to watch the film. I can't tell you. Let's see. Jose Martin, thank you for the super chat. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Jose, who writes, DeAndre Carter looked good on returns. He did. I was impressed. And I talked, a lot of shit about DeAndre Carter after that first preseason game. Like, hey, if he's going to be running towards the sidelines, I'm not with it. He didn't angle for the sidelines not one time today. So I was impressed. He looked spry. He looked like a guy that can maybe make something happen on returns. I wouldn't be shocked if he busts one at some point this season, whether it be punts or kickoffs. He looked good today for sure. Got to hold on to the ball. That was a bugaboo of his in his past. I'm going to go ahead and knock on some wood too. I'm not going to continue to harp on that, but he looked good today for sure. Got another super chat. This one is from Fat American. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Fat American writes, we desperately need a studded linebacker. Also, here's my bold statement. The Chargers are a more complete team than the Chiefs. They'll win the division. That's a very bold statement. We'll see about that. They are definitely a better defensive team than the Chargers. I don't think they're better offensively than the Chargers, but we will see. We need more production out of our linebackers, especially in the pass game. I got to watch the film, but I wasn't impressed with our linebackers in coverage today. We looked out of sorts. We looked lost. Guys were running free too often. I need to see better, and I know we can be better in that department. That's part of the reason you drafted Jamin Davis. It's going to take some time, but I don't think the linebackers were difference makers today. So we'll see. Calvin Krim, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you and for being a member of the MOBB. Calvin writes, I'm an optimist, Lou, as am I. This will light a fire under everyone's butts for Thursday night. I hope that isn't the case. I expect a win. I'm not moving off the spot. This did not deter me in any sense. Okay. I fully expect this team to bounce back on Thursday night and get the win and even up the mark to 1-1. The offense got confidence. Defense is pissed off. Mistakes can be fixed. All of that is true. All of it is true. And I do think that this is going to serve as motivation because this game was there for the taking. And all we needed to do was reach out and grab it. And we didn't do that. And I know the coaching staff, Ron, Jack, Del Rio, Scott Turner, all those guys are going to stress that to their players. This was a very winnable game. It's not like the Chargers outplayed us to the point where you felt like the better team clearly won and we didn't have a shot. We had ample opportunities in this game to win, and we failed to seize those opportunities. So I think you're right. And I'm an optimist. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to bounce back. I think this defense is going to be better. Can't get much worse, especially on third downs. I think the offense is going to be better. I like Taylor Heineke being back there. I like him being able to get a full week of practice under his belt with the ones because he wasn't getting any reps, with him being the backup. So now going into the, week of practice, it's going to be a short, quick turnaround. But I like our chances with Heineke under center. I really do. Gunny Man, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Gunny Man, writes, this needs to be Heineke's team moving forward. I agree. I want to see that be the case. I don't want Ron to just give it to him. I need him to grab this team and say, this is mine. I'm the guy now. Force Ron, because Ron said at the beginning of the offseason, this was a two-man race between Heineke and Fitz. Fitz didn't really do anything other than he was the veteran, the guy that they paid to come in here and be the starter. So he got every opportunity to prove that, and he didn't do anything wrong to mess that up. That said, Heineke is the guy with the most upside. Heineke is the guy with the mobility to extend plays, which we saw today. Heineke is the guy that brings a different element to the field. I want to see him. I wanted to see him from the jump. You guys know that. I didn't want any parts of Fitzpatrick, but he was here, so I was going to root for him. But he has to show Ron that he is capable of leading this team where they ultimately want to go, which is the postseason. I think he took steps towards doing that today. I didn't think he did anything wrong today. I just didn't think he got enough opportunities. Point blank. The man threw it 15 times, completed 11 of them for 122 yards and a touchdown, a great strike to Logan Thomas. I thought he climbed the pocket well. I thought he used his legs exceptionally. I thought Heineke gave us a spark, and we just didn't get to see enough of it because the defense was so porous on third downs. I'm with you. I want this, but I don't want Ron to just give it to him. He's got to take this team by the horns and say it's mine. I think he's capable of doing that. Jason Rogers, double up. Thank you for doubling up, Jason. Greatly appreciate you. Jason writes, I don't know if you touched on this, but why would they keep playing man with the rookie against Allen? They mixed it up. This wasn't just straight man-to-man, beat downs. This was zone. This was man. They just ate. They ate good, against man, against zone. Allen is a tough cover, man. I don't think he gets enough credit for how good he is around the league. If you know, you know. And I'll just tell you this. He won against all types of different coverages, period. It wasn't just man-to-man coverage that he was eating alive. So, and you can't win for lose. Honestly, you play man, then people, why didn't you play zone? You play zone. Why did you play man? And the bottom line is the only thing that I get upset with is when you play often soft. That's it. I'm all for keeping everything in front of you. You don't want to get, but there's a time and place for that. 3rd and 4 isn't the time for your corner to be 7 yards off. And there's a time and a place for playing often soft. 3rd and 16, that's the time to play often soft. Keep everything in front of you. But then you got to be willing to rally up and make a tackle and not be like, how is it that it's 3rd and 16 and all of our defenders are 2-3 yards beyond the sticks? Nobody in sight to rally up and make a tackle. So he catches the ball at 14 yards. Why isn't there a guy to stonewall him, 2 other guys to drive him back, and they're 2 yards short? They're not going for it at their own 28. They're going to punt. Why is it that he catches the football 2 yards short of the sticks, is able to then turn around, run for 2 yards, and then dive for an additional 2? Why are you guys 3 yards beyond the sticks? It's 3rd and 16. Your heels should be at the sticks, and you should not be backing up. I am dumbfounded. We have 5 dudes behind the sticks when he catches the ball. Nobody's close. Are you kidding me? Anyway, I digress. CGM87, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, what was with the 10-yard cushions? I just said that. He says, some of the soft zones had me looking for Manusky on the sidelines, and our D-line getting 0 pressure didn't help. I felt the same way. There were too many times I felt like we were playing too soft against a team that really lacks true deep speed other than Jalen Guyton. 15 comes in the game, high alert, high alert. Other than that, I'm not afraid of Keenan Allen's speed. I'm not afraid of Mike Williams' speed. Why are we playing 15 yards off? And they weren't. I'm being facetious. Why are we playing off so far? I didn't understand that. I wanted, with our big corners that are long, pause, I wanted to get in these guys' face, delete the airspace, and then if they beat us, they beat us. But it was just, it felt like it was too easy. I didn't see enough hands being laid on these receivers. They looked like they were real comfortable coming out of breaks, getting off the line of scrimmage. They were unmolested. They were free to roam and do whatever the hell they wanted to do. And credit the Chargers, like on the 3rd down that Keenan Allen won against Benjamin St. Juste, I believe it was. They ran a stack release. Like, you can't jam a receiver in a stack release, essentially. So he goes inside, Juice, reacts to that inside, and then he goes outside. He's wide ass open. It's a veteran move against a rookie. Took his cookies and his lunch. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Dennis Bartholomew. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Dennis. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, missed it the first time, but Terry had the best catch of the year already. I think you already said that. I think we already talked about that. I think you were the one that super chatted that. Maybe you weren't. But if I missed it, I apologize. I think we already talked about it. That right now probably is the catch of the year. I haven't watched all the other games. There may have been some ridiculous circus catches out there. I've seen some good ones today, but Terry's was at the top of the list for sure. Chris Lee, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat, Chris Lee. Will Morales, thank you for the super chat. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Will. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, keep your head up. It's only 1 of 17. That's a message for everybody else, not me. You don't have to tell me to keep my head up. My head's up. I'm not deterred by this one loss. The Chargers are a good football team. How good, we don't know, but good enough to come into Washington and win if we don't play better than we played today. And we didn't play good enough to win. So they came in and won. He says, it's only 1 of 17. We have Heineke. He had a great game. The defense needs to tighten up some loose strings. Herbert was fire. That he was. There's no denying that at all. Herbert was fantastic. The defense has to tighten up. I think they will. You can't get much worse than 14-18 on 3rd down. So it can't be much worse. Let's see. Brandon Brantley, thank you for the super chat and for being a member of the MOBB. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Chargers can easily be an upper echelon team this year. Disappointed in the D-line and O-line, but teams have an extra week to prepare this year for week 1. There's a lot of different things that we could say and do to make excuses. We had that same amount of time to prepare for them as well. No excuses. We weren't good on offense. We didn't execute on defense. They did. They get the win. Like, I'm not here to make any excuses. Yeah, they had extra time to prepare, for week 1. Guess what? We did too. We did too. And I didn't see a ton of wrinkles from us. There was no reverse. There was no reverse pass. There was nothing tricky. Not to say that the Chargers did anything tricky. They just went out and executed. But I thought after seeing the Cowboys get cute a couple of times, seeing the Buccaneers get cute a little bit, I thought we were going to see something dynamic, 1 or 2 plays. Nah. And what was so disheartening for me is the inability for us to get chunk plays. Everything was underneath. I talked about Taylor Heineke. You take away that one pass to Terry, which you can't, but it was a horrible pass. That thing was in the air for forever. It was a punt. Why he threw a moon ball like that behooves me, but it got there. But you take that play away. That was our biggest play of the day by far. It wasn't even close. You take that play away. Let's call that a 37-yard completion. Heineke was 10 of 14 for probably 80 some odd yards. Like, it was dink and dunk city, man. We can't. One of the things we talked about was getting explosive plays. Now, you got to count the pass interference on De'Ami Brown. That was a chunk play for us. Those count. Doesn't show up on the stat sheet as a catch, but it's just as good as one. But those were so few and far between. Where were the 12-yard completions? Where were the 15-yard? The Chargers had a bevy of them. That's how Justin Herbert went over 300 yards. Where were ours? We had one to Cam Sims, the touchdown to Logan Thomas, and the Terry catch. I shouldn't be able to recall every catch that was probably 15 yards or more on the day. That was it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I missed one. The catch to the throw to Logan Thomas in the end zone, the Terry PI crazy ridiculous grab, and the Cam Sims catch. You want to throw the pass interference in there and knock yourself out. I mean, we were awful, man. Everything was short and underneath. Yeah, we can make excuses, but at the end of the day, we made mistakes. We didn't take advantage of opportunities, and we didn't get off the field on third down, and we allowed the Chargers to absolutely shorten the game and eat up time of possession. Godly. I'm curious as to what that time of possession number was, what the discrepancy. They had to outpossess us by at least 12 minutes. I'm going to venture to say it was closer to 20. I'm going to say it's 16 or 17, but it had to be at least 12 minutes difference in time of possession. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was something ridiculous like 16 or 17. 12 in itself is asinine. I'm going to say it was more than that, higher than 15. Stupid. We were dumb on defense today. Red Wings 01, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, Keenan Allen must have some sort of cloaking device when he's stationary. He can just stand still and be wide open. It's like people forget he's there. Sort of like people forget to mention him when they start talking about best receivers in the league. It's sort of like that. He just seemed to always be open. He's not the fastest guy in the world. We know he's a great route runner. He knows how to set guys up. He knows how to get a guy leaning one way and go the other way. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, sheesh. Is he that tough of a cover? And if he is, which I know he is, I'm asking a question that I know the answer to. Why not take him away? Why not go out of your way to say it won't be 13 that gets us today? It'll have to be 81. It'll have to be 87. It'll have to be 15 or 30 or somebody else. We never made them uncomfortable. We never took them out of their comfort zone and made them do something they didn't want to do. They did everything they wanted to do on their terms in this game. That's frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Terry Maples, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Bostic is booty juice. Jamin is still lost and Holcomb can't do it by himself. Khalid needs more snaps and Curl was way underused. Del Rio. Facepalm, what's going on? Emoji. I can't speak to how infrequently Cam Curl was used. I agree that Bostic is booty juice, but I mean, I'm not going to continuously complain about him because we didn't do enough in the offseason to get him out of the lineup. So at the end of the day, until Jamin Davis is ready to take over the nickel responsibilities, it's more John Bostic. And even when you're in your base, it's still John Bostic. So Khaleke Hudson is undersized. It is what it is. So they much rather not put Khaleke Hudson in the game right now than put him in. So we'll see what happens. Robert Mitchell, thank you for the super chat. Double up. Greatly appreciate you, Robert, who writes, "Sup, Lou? Love the thumbnail, by the way." Says, do you feel the team might have believed a little too much of the hype and press that has been spewing, but now got slapped back to now has been slapped back to reality? Question mark. Nah, I don't think that was it at all. I just don't think they performed well. It's not like we haven't seen this before, which is what I've been trying to convey to you guys when everyone was talking that top 5 this and top 5 that. I kept saying, guys, gals, fam, mob, the defense was good, borderline great at times. But when we saw real NFL quarterbacking, which was few and far between last year, but I listed the games. They were all games in which the defense was dominated. Arizona with Kyler Murray, Baltimore with Lamar Jackson, Cleveland with Baker Mayfield. These were all games we were dominated in. You know, the end result might have not have been a blowout on the scoreboard for some of those games, but we were dominated. Matthew Stafford, they had a 24-3 lead on us before they took their foot off the gas pedal, or we made adjustments, whatever way you want to frame it, and came roaring back in that game. He was carving us up. We know what Tom Brady did in the playoff game. When we saw good NFL quarterbacking, we struggled. So this is not a surprise to me. What is a surprise is 14 of 18 on third down. I can't stress that enough, because that wasn't us. That wasn't our life last year. Our life wasn't giving it up on third downs repeatedly, including a 3rd and 16. We didn't do that last year. We got off the field on third downs last year. This felt like 16 and 17 and 18. This felt like Manusky, as somebody referenced, looking over on the sidelines for Manusky. This felt Greg Manusky-ish. I don't think they bought into any kind of hype. They just went out and got mopped defensively. That's what happened. Out-schemed, out-executed, outplayed. Thank you for the super chat, Robert Mitchell. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, also, Brandon Staley has a punchable face, in my opinion. I like Brandon Staley, man. He's a young, good coach in this league, and he got his team to believe, and they got a win for him in his first game as a coach in this league, head coach. Chris Lee, thank you for doubling up. Double up. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, where the hell was Chase Young, and is Rashawn Slater that good? It didn't really matter because Young was on both sides. A lot of the game, Chase Young wasn't even matched up against Rashawn Slater. But, you know, yeah, Rashawn Slater is that good. But Chase Young had some opportunities. They got rid of the ball quick. I could think of a couple of plays where Chase won immediately and the ball was out. Like, you know, what do you want to do? I remember Jay Feely trying to give the Chargers offensive line credit on a play. Look at the time Justin Herbert has here. And Chase Young literally got in immediately with an inside move. He won, and Herbert got rid of the football in less than 3 seconds. Like, what do you think Chase Young's going to be able to do there? I'm like, it wasn't really that great. You picked the wrong play. There are plenty of plays you could have picked throughout the game to say, look at the protection that Justin Herbert's getting. That wasn't one of them. Chase beat the tackle clearly inside and was getting to Justin Herbert and got rid of the ball. Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Metaphor writes, don't got long to wait and see how we adjust Thursday. That's the good thing is it's a quick turnaround. We don't have to sit and stew for a whole nother week. We only have a couple of days to mull over this. We got to turn our attention to the Giants. Thursday night football, quick turnaround. And that serves as like a mini bye week of sorts. Because if you can find a way to win that game, get back to 1-1 on the season, then you get a long layoff. Guys get to rest, bodies get to heal, and you get extra time to prepare for the Bills on the road in week 3. So I love the setup. We got to take advantage of it, though. King of the North, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Again, apologize for missing your super chats earlier. Some of that is out of my control, but I do apologize and appreciate you coming back and super chatting again. And thank you for being a member of the MOBB as well. He says, one throw over 5 yards in the fourth quarter ain't going to win in the NFL. Not sure if the play calling or if it was Heineke. O-line looks like a weakness. RD on 4-man rush wasn't getting there today. I've already, ranted about the lack of down the field targets. Some of that was predicated by the pressure the Chargers were applying. Like, there were a couple of times they came with blitzes that were perfectly timed up, pressure in Heineke's face. He's got to get rid of it right now. He doesn't have time to. And Boza was jumping the snap count every time. So there were times where he had to step up. I got to get rid of it. Check it down to Antonio Gibson. There were times where Heineke dropped back, wanted to chuck it deep. He's got to check it down to De'Ami Brown in the flats, and he drops the ball. Like, you got to give the Chargers some credit. We tried a screen. They blitzed. They were right in Heineke's face. He didn't get a chance to throw the screen. He got to throw it out of bounds. He saved us on one play. There's another screen. Heineke's trying to set it up. Antonio Gibson drops the damn football. I don't know if it would have been a big play regardless. It wasn't the greatest throw because he was under duress, but it got there. Catch the damn ball. He didn't catch it. So it was tough. You gotta give the Chargers some credit too. Gotta give them credit as well. They dialed it up, man. They dialed it up. J Mart, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. J Mart writes, Fitz, some teams might get the elite quarterback. Our time, I don't know, man. Sometimes you gotta stumble into a guy. Sometimes you gotta get lucky with a quarterback. Guy could be under your nose the entire time and you just not know it, and he just needs an opportunity. This could be Taylor Heineke's opportunity. He may not get another one. So I hope he seizes this opportunity, takes full advantage of it. I don't have to talk about, and I don't have to, give Taylor Heineke a pep talk. This is a guy that at one point was thinking his NFL career was over and was preparing for the next phase of his life. He was taking tests to finish up his degree and trying to figure out what was the next step. So him getting back in the league, getting a contract, and now having a chance to start, this guy knows what it's like to not know what your future holds for you and to not know if you're ever going to get an opportunity. So I don't have to tell him that this is his opportunity. This is his moment. Seize it. I think he will. CGM87, double up, thank you for doubling up, CGM87, greatly appreciate you. CGM87 writes, the sewage pipe burst equals on-field performance. At times it felt that way, especially on defense, specifically on third downs, for sure. Thank you for the super chat, Enigma RJ. Greatly appreciate you. Double up, thank you for doubling up. Enigma writes, keep picking Atlanta, Lou. That belt is mine. Oh, they stink. I thought that Philadelphia was going to be funky, and they moved the ball on the first 2 possessions of the game. They just settled for field goals. After that, Philadelphia clamped down on their ass, and the game was never really in doubt. I won't be picking Atlanta. I already told you I don't think they're going to be very good. I just didn't think Philadelphia was going to be very good, and I still don't, but that just goes to show you how bad Atlanta is going to be this year. And that's what week 1 is all about, figuring out just how bad, because I already told you some of the teams I think aren't going to be very good. But you still got to see it. Like I told you, Detroit's going to be one of the worst teams in the league. They got their asses handed to them today. You see that today. And the Falcons, we need to beat Atlanta in week 4. If we don't beat Atlanta in week 4, we got problems. We got problems on our hands. So they're not good. That's why it's important we beat the Giants. Even if we don't beat the Bills the following week, you go to Atlanta the next week after that, we got to dominate their ass. We can't beat Atlanta, we're going to be in for a long, long season. They're not good. They do not have a ton of talent at all. And their offensive line stinks. So, but that's looking too far ahead. We just lost to the Chargers. Now we got to find a way to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and find a way to get a win against the Giants, who are playing the Denver Broncos currently as we speak. Joshua Farish, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Joshua Farish writes, Lou, I was at the game. Great. I wanted to talk to somebody that was at the game and ask how many Chargers fans. It looked like there were quite a bit of Chargers fans there. How much of a capacity was it? Were there a ton of empty seats? All of those things. I was wondering because on the TV, you couldn't really hear like a whole bunch of Chargers fans like dominating the game. It didn't sound like we were super outnumbered or it was really close, but I saw a lot of Chargers blue, a lot more than I'm comfortable with for a team that plays on the West Coast that can't even sell out their own damn stadium when they're at home, let alone going across the country to play a team that they only play once, in Washington once every 8 years. So he says, I was at the game, nice atmosphere, but too many Chargers fans. I think people are panicking because of who we play the rest of the season. So there was a lot of Chargers fans there. Not surprising. There doesn't need to be any panic involved. You can only play one game at a time. We can't worry about having the Chiefs and the Bills and the Seahawks and the Packers and the Bucks all on the schedule. If you don't win games before we get to those teams, then a lot of those games will be rendered meaningless when we play them anyway. By the time we get to the Bucks in week 10 after the bye, if we're 2-7, if we're 1-8, and we get to the Bucks, who gives a shit that we're playing the Buccaneers? Who cares about the Monday night game versus Seattle and Russell Wilson if we stink by then? You can't start looking at those games that far out. It's a week-to-week league. We didn't look great this week. We could look like gangbusters next week. And that goes for any team in the league. The Falcons look like trash. They could bounce back next week against Tampa Bay and take them to the wire and almost win and have confidence. And by the time we get to them, they're playing much better ball and beat us. We don't know what the hell is going to happen. The bottom line is you play the one in front of you first. I don't want to talk about the Bills in week 3. I don't want to talk about, the Chiefs in week 6. I don't want to talk about those games. I'm going to talk about this game that we just lost, how we can get better, how we can learn, and the Giants in week 2 on a quick turnaround on the Thursday night at home. That's what I'm worried about now. Thank you for the super chat, Joshua Farish. Gunnyman, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Gunnyman, writes, nothing's as good as it seems. Nothing's as bad as it seems. Somewhere in between, reality falls. Quote, Sawyer. LOL. You're damn right. And that anytime I feel like I'm going too far to one side of things, whether I'm too excited or I'm too encouraged or I feel really dejected and really down and out, you go back to that quote and it kind of calibrates everything. Okay? Everybody wants to panic week 1. It's a fire around and everything's burning and I'm just sitting in the middle of the room and I'm doing yoga. Hum. I got the inner Buddha coming out. I'm good. Some of you should practice. Breathe. Relax. It's a long season. This is 1 of 17. A lot of football left to be played. This was not a great first showing by the defense. Doesn't mean they're going to be awful this year. Doesn't mean that they won't live up to the hype. This was not a great start, but it's week 1 for everyone. That includes us. Let's see how they bounce back on Thursday. Thank you for the super chat. Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Metaphor writes, don't laugh, but RG3. I'm going to just keep moving. I'm not going to laugh. I'm just going to keep moving. I'm not even entertaining that foolishness. H. Lucas. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. H. Lucas writes, we got to start quicker. Mob Squad was lit. It was definitely lit. And what did I tell you? We were going to start slow again. Now, we didn't start as slow as I thought. I thought we were going to fall down 10-0. We fell down 7-0, but then we kicked the field goal. We got it as close as 7-6. Then they kicked the field goal and then another field goal. And then we were able to get a field goal before the half to make it 13-9. We were right there. We were right where I thought we would be. Remember, I said it was going to be 13-10 at halftime. It was 13-9. I said we were going to score 10 unanswered points. We scored 10 unanswered points to take a 16-13 lead. I said that they were going to go back and they were going to score 10 unanswered points. Now, I thought, we would be at the time a little bit higher in the game at 20, not 16, and they would get to 23 and then we would get a touchdown and win 27-23. But obviously that wasn't the case. But this game went the way I thought it was going to go. I really thought that this was going to be a defensive type of struggle game where offenses weren't going to score a bunch of points. Unfortunately, this wasn't a defensive struggle game. Our defense just struggled in this game. A1_93. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, O-line has to play better. So do DBs. Everybody's got to play better. You know, it's hard to single out one particular position group that was great today. None of our position groups were stellar. You know, De'Ami Brown wasn't a difference maker. Did draw a penalty flag. Another drop by Adam Humphries, even though I don't think it was going to net us anything anyway. He had the big, chop block for a 15-yard penalty that just flattened the drive. You know, the offensive line was subpar. I don't think they were terrible, but they were less than average. You know, they weren't good enough in this game. They made mistakes too with penalties and things of that nature. I don't think there was any positional group that was exceptional in this game. Now, I could go back, watch the film, and feel differently, but right now, I don't think anybody deserves any praise. And everybody can be better, for sure. Let's see if we got any more super chats. We do. My guy, John Perez, was at the game. John, you had one job to do, and it was to bring home a dub, man. How could you fail us? No, I'm kidding, man. Hope you and the missus enjoyed your time at the game. Unfortunately, you didn't get to see the good guys get a win, but I'm glad you got to see them in person. He says, just got back from the game. Very hard to watch at the end. Chargers fans started giving people the finger. 2 bad Gibby fumbles and a missed face mask in the first quarter cost us. Wanted this W bad. Yeah, we all did. Yeah, I want every game bad. No game usually is that much more significant than the other unless we get to the end of the season and one's for a playoff, berth or something like that. But I want every single game. And I hate to lose any game. And, we lost this football game and it was a winnable game. That's what makes it that much harder to stomach is this was a very winnable football game. And we let it slip through our fingers by making mistakes and simply not getting off the field on third downs. JP also writes, double up, thank you for doubling up, JP, who writes, Ron ain't keeping neither of these quarterbacks after the season. He wants his own guy. He's going to get him in next year's draft. That may be the case, but if Taylor Heineke comes in, rattles the cage a bit, and this team goes 12-5, and Heineke as a starter goes 12-5, or excuse me, would go 12-4, because we didn't start this game, and goes 12-4, you really think Ron's going to be looking for another young quarterback? Or he's going to try to roll with Taylor Heineke next year? I'm just asking. These are things, we don't know what's going to happen. More likely than not, you're right. We're going to be looking for a QB in next year's draft, more likely than not. Or a quarterback in free agency, or via trade. That's more likely to be the outcome. But I wouldn't write off Taylor Heineke yet. After today, I feel even more bullish on Heineke because he came in and picked right up where he left off last year when we last saw him against Tampa Bay. He made plays and he gave us a chance. He just didn't get enough opportunities, man. It's frustrating. It really is. Even when the officials said, hey, y'all get a do-over here. Take this personal foul, even though I thought that was a garbage personal foul when we had to punt on Boza the second time around. They said, nah, don't worry about it. Take this free set of downs. What y'all going to do with it? Still ain't do a damn thing with it. King of the North, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. King of the North writes, every single Washington football fan knew Hopkins was going to miss that 51-yarder. That's sad. You're right, because I thought he was going to miss too. I did. In my head, I was trying to think confident and positive thoughts. Like, man, Hop about to show everybody, man, 4-4 today with another kick later on in the game, potentially to win it. He about to show everybody. And but in that was in my head. My heart was like, man, he gonna miss this damn kick, man. What you talking about? 51? Yeah, right. And he did. And it didn't look good off his foot. But had it been from 46 instead of from 51, if Sheriff doesn't have the, who knows? If Sheriff doesn't have the penalty, 3rd and 4, we were converting those today. We didn't have a problem with 3rd and 4. 3rd and 9. Oy vey. Who knows? We might even convert that thing and keep the sticks moving. We'll never know. We'll never know. Overdar the Obtuse, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Writes, years of building this defense, and this is what we get. It was a mistake to not build a team for today's NFL. Again, it's too early to give up and bail on this defense. It's one game. If you think the defense is going to show up and ball out every single week, you are sadly mistaken, and you got another thing coming, and you're going to be more than disappointed. Okay? This is not going to be the last time you're going to be disappointed because the defense didn't play the way you wanted them to. At the end of the day, you should have more good defensive performances than bad, and I think you will ultimately have that out of this defense before the season is done. Look, say what you want. We created 2 turnovers in this game. We did. We held the Chargers to 2 field goals on opportunities to score touchdowns. Now, they dropped the touchdown. Mike Williams should have caught that touchdown, but he didn't. I don't care. That's not our problem. We held them in the red zone to field goals a couple of times. The defense, for as much as they gave up and as many third downs as they allowed to be converted, they gave us an opportunity to win the game. The Chargers only scored 20. I know they could have scored more. They had the drive at the end of the game. If they needed to score, they could have scored again. Still, they made plays in the red zone. They forced 2 turnovers down by the red zone. They gave us a chance. You score 16, and I don't give a shit that they didn't have it a lot. Make the opportunities you have count. They didn't do that on offense. So you could look at it in a multitude of ways. Who the hell you beating with 16? The defense only gave up 20. They forced 2 turnovers. For as bad as they played on third downs, they gave us a chance. I'm not going to sit here and chastise the defense by themselves. They deserve to be chastised. But I'm not going to isolate them when we scored 16 damn points and we kicked 2 field goals when we had chances to score touchdowns. The officials tried to give us opportunities with pass interferences and roughing the passers, and we failed to optimize those opportunities. It's not just the defense. We scored 16 effing points. Thank you for the super chat. Overdar the Obtuse. Red Wings 01. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, watching the Saints-Packers game, Jameis is going off. Good for him. I can't wait to watch myself. And we have those guys in a month. So we'll see. We'll see what the Saints are. I think they're going to be lesser this year, but Jameis is a hell of a quarterback. We know that. And if they protect him, he could do some special things. If that defense is good, they've got a chance. Billy A., thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for becoming a brand new member of the MOBB. And thank you for doubling up. Double up. Greatly appreciate you. Billy A., who writes, why was there so much rotation on D? I know Chase and Tez need rest, but I don't want to see Tuhill and Smith Williams so much. McTire, cool, but he's still the 4th cornerback. Doesn't need to be on the field that much. I agree. Like the first possession of the game, there's a play where Justin Herbert rolls out, and he's got like 20 seconds to throw the ball. I'm like, what the F is this? Where's the pass rush? And then I look up. It's James Smith-Williams and it's Casey. This is the first possession of the game. Why are our studs out? Are they that tired already? I get it. It was a long drive, but shit. I'm seeing Casey Tuhill and James Smith-Williams on the first drive. Maybe it was that adrenaline flowing. And you know how it can be sometimes. You expound a little bit more energy when you're amped up. I don't know. But I'm like, why are they in the game? And then we finally get them to 3rd and 9, and James Smith-Williams jumps offsides on the next snap. And now it's 3rd and 4, and they convert. I'm like, why are you even in the game, man? But again, like you said, those guys need blows too. But damn, it's tough. G-Ski, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you and for being a member of the MOBB. G-Ski writes, Lou, G-Ski, what up? My guy, after watching this game, my initial reaction was disappointment more than anything. We lost fundamentally, which Ron preaches. Yeah, that was the thing that frustrated me the most was we beat ourselves, you know. The Chargers helped. I don't want to make it seem like the Chargers didn't make plays. That last drive by Herbert, that's what makes him elite. That's what separates him from the vast majority of quarterbacks in the league. He made throw after throw after throw on that final possession. That's what big-time quarterbacks do. Strap a team to their back and say, we're not losing this game. Y'all had y'all chances. It's our time now. But that said, we had every opportunity. And I felt like we beat ourselves. The fumble, the penalties, the mistakes were too great to overcome. Too many mistakes. The missed field goal, give them great field position on that. You can't have those kind of mistakes. You're up 16-13. You got all the momentum. Push the lead out to 6. Make them drive 80 yards for a touchdown instead of having to only drive, 60 yards or 55 yards. Make the field goal. Gunny Man, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Gunny Man writes, number 75 holding after a timeout, then Hop misses 51 yarder. Not very good. Not very good at all. That false start by B Sheriff was massive, because we talk about the missed field goal, but it would have been 3rd and 4. We might have converted that. I was confident with Heineke and his legs. I was confident in 3rd and 4. Not so much 3rd and 9, and I already told you guys that. Not so much on 3rd and 9. As a matter of fact, we might have even went backwards. I think he threw it to De'Ami Brown on 3rd and 9, and I think he might have caught it and actually lost 2 yards in addition to the 5-yard penalty. I think that might have been an incomplete pass. Whatever. Mo Reacts. Thank you for the super chat. Mo Reacts. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, should have went on 4th down. I know it was 8 minutes left, but defense was outmatched and the Chargers controlled time of possession. I know we had our other mistakes. Again, I won't argue with anybody that has that position and stance that they're taking. I won't argue with you because you could look at it either way. Chargers are dominating us. We're not going to get a stop any damn way. So what difference does it make? Go for it. I hear that. I was saying to myself, one of our best defensive possessions of the afternoon was when they were pinned deep in their own territory. So I was like, maybe you do that again. You get off the field on a 3 and out. Maybe they get conservative. They don't want to make a mistake deep in their own territory. And so we get off the field 3 and out, get great field position. That was my hope. But then you have a penalty and they started their own 18 and you're like, well, shit, you could have gone for it. But that's hindsight. We didn't know that we were going to have a holding penalty that was going to aid them in better field position. I didn't have confidence in 4th and 7. So I don't think Ron did either. Again, that goes back to we're not completing passes more than 4 or 5 yards at a time. So the confidence level on 4th and 7 is very low for me. That's why I didn't mind him punting it, because I'm like, we probably ain't picking this shit up anyway. If you wanted to go for it there, I'm not going to argue with you because you could look at it either way. Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Big Money Sonny writes, oh, well, next week, brother. Indeed. I'm looking forward to the game next week for sure. Enigma RJ, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Enigma RJ writes, just seemed like Justin was playing Madden back there. LOL. It did. At times, he seemed to be in total control of what was going on and that we didn't stand a chance, especially that last drive. Man. That's like pouring salt in the wounds, because a lot of people like to bring up that we could have had Justin Herbert instead of Chase Young. And that last drive is like a dagger that just is driven through your heart, a stake that just driven through your heart as a fan when you say, yep, that could have been us. I don't have revisionist history. I didn't want him. I didn't think he was that good. I wanted Chase Young. But man, if he didn't make that shit sting even more with that final drive. Thank you for the super chat. King Izzy, greatly appreciate you. Josh Z, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. And thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, settling for field goals is bad, but D-Hop's limited range is even worse. Looking for redemption this Thursday night at FedEx Field. Mob, stand up. Yeah, we're going to be out at FedEx looking for revenge. I hope we get it. God knows we need it. Can't afford to go to 0-2. Looking for revenge. Condoleezza Perry, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My girl, Condo P, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, level-headed Lou, this is why you're the GOAT. I try to keep everybody balanced. I know it's easy to overreact after a loss like this that was very winnable. It's hard to come up here and not be pissed off, but it's early. Somebody's got to be the voice of reason. So let me be that guy. Don't overreact. Yeah, defense was not good, but the offense wasn't either. They didn't have enough opportunities. I would have loved to have seen Heineke have more opportunities because when he was in the game, the ball seemed to move. But some of that was aided by the officials. Don't care. I need more attempts and offensive opportunities, and the defense didn't afford that to the offense in this game. That's frustrating. King Izzy, thank you for the super chat. Double up. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, love the front four, but shouldn't we blitz a tad more? Sometimes when you're not hitting home, that's the answer. And I felt like today was one of those days, maybe you needed to heat Justin, Herbert up a little bit, especially with the Chargers not having a ton of speed at receiver, just having that one guy in Jalen Guyton that can run. I thought maybe coming after Herbert was the answer to making him maybe be a little bit more uncomfortable, maybe having a ball sail on him. But they didn't blitz very often. For all of the talk of Jack Del Rio feeling like we could get a little bit more exotic, we didn't see a lot of it in week one. Doesn't mean we won't see it moving forward, but we didn't see a whole hell of a lot of it in this football game in particular. So I'm with you. I love the front four, but sometimes you got to mix it up. And we weren't getting home with 4, so at some point, all right, let's see if we can get there with 6. Didn't feel like we did that enough. Got another one here from JP, my guy John Perez. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, get a young QB in 2022, draft or trade up. Don't care if we sell the farm. Tired of the same old story at quarterback. Garbage arms year after year. Pathetic. JP, I can always say you're the guy that's always looking towards the draft in week 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not looking towards the draft. I don't want to talk about getting a quarterback. I want to talk about the 2021 Washington football team season. That's what I'm looking forward to. To hell with a quarterback in the 2022 draft. We're 3-11 in week 16. Then you can talk my head off about all of these quarterbacks coming in to the league and down the pipeline. I don't want to hear that shit in week 1. Not after Heineke played his balls off and gave us a chance in limited opportunities. I don't hear that shit. Not today. Malachi Malik. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Malachi writes, why punt the ball on that last drive, Ron, when our defense could not get off the field? Why? Again, fair question. I'm not going to debate you. I didn't have a problem with the decision because we hadn't converted 3rd and 7 all day long. So what made you think we was going to convert 4th and 7? I knew where he was coming from. But at the same token, a lot of you saying, well, we ain't stopped the Chargers all day. What makes you think we're going to stop them now? Fair point. Again, that's why I'm not arguing with you. I get it. Totally get it. I think somebody brought up here, Stephen Grinkley. He says 39 to 23 minutes. What I tell y'all? Didn't I say I don't know what it is, but I venture to say it's 16 to 17 minutes. It's over 15. I guarantee you the disparity is somewhere north of 15. It just felt like total domination from a time of possession standpoint. I'd also like to know how many more plays they ran than we did. I guarantee you they ran 70 some odd snaps and we're somewhere hovering around high 40s, low 50s. They dominated us. It's pathetic. They probably had 77 snaps in the game. That's probably too much. They probably had, because Herbert threw it 40 some odd times. How many times did he throw it? 47. No, I take that back. They probably had 68 snaps offensively, and we had 47. It's ridiculous. We were dominated, man. The defense didn't get off the field, man. That's hard for me to swallow. It's one thing if, they're just making play. We couldn't get off the field on 3rd downs. 3rd and 16, it boils my blood. Billy A, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Billy A writes, we're blaming the D too much. O was to blame as well, which is what I said. He said, if your D hides a team that dominated the time of possession to 20 and got an interception and you have not give the ball back, Fitz didn't target Terry enough even in the preseason. So essentially what Billy A is saying is we're blaming the defense too much, which I've already stated. I've stressed this already. They have their fair share of blame. They're not absolved from wrongdoing here. They were not good enough. That said, you scored 16. Who the hell do you think you're beating with 16 points? Not many teams, I can assure you of that, especially not many on the schedule this year, I might add. So we got the defense gave us an opportunity. I've stated that already. The defense gave us a chance in this game, and that's what Billy A is essentially saying. Defense gave us a chance. The offense wasn't good enough. We weren't good enough. Special teams wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough. So, we lose the game. Let's see. Johnson I. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Johnson I, with the super chat. Thank you so much for that, Johnson. Let me see if you had a comment somewhere after that. Maybe you were just looking to support. Let's see if we got any more super chats. Got one here from NHZ Name. Thank you for the super chat, NHZ Name, who writes, thank you first and foremost for being a member of the MOBB as well. Says, appreciate you, Lou. You the best. Appreciate you, NHZ Name. Sorry if this has been discussed, but as you said, I feel like the lack of a real game time play by this team hurt them. Look, the Chargers didn't play their starters at all. Did they look any worse for the wear? Again, my philosophy is what it is. It's on record. I would have played the players more. You don't want to get hurt. I get all of that. It is what it is. I don't want to harp on that because the Chargers didn't play their starters at all, and their offense looked like a well-oiled machine today. So I don't want to use that as an excuse. Like I said, I'm not here to make excuses. I'm not an excuse maker. I'm a, by any means necessary, find a way to get it done type of guy. And we had every opportunity, ample opportunities throughout this game to find a way. It would not have been pretty, but you know what it would have been? It would have been damn gritty to lose time of possession, to lose in the play snaps for the two teams, to lose in that regard. You did win the turnover battle 2-1. To leave 3 points out on the field from a field goal perspective, to do all of these things and still have a chance to win, it's frustrating that we didn't get it done because it would have been a very impressive win. If we somehow pull out a 23-20 or, we hold them, late in the game and we find a way to tie this thing up, go to overtime and win 26-23, whatever the case may be. We find a way to win this game. It would have been so impressive. With all the shit that we did wrong, all the penalties, all the mistakes, the missed opportunities, but we didn't. And we simply did make too many mistakes to win a game like this. Todd Sullivan, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Todd writes, Scotty Turner, worst OC in the league, just cost us game one. I don't subscribe to that. I want to see what the play calling looked like. I can just tell you from afar, I wasn't impressed. This didn't feel like one of his better games. I don't think he handled what the Chargers, did to us well. That said, I need to see it. I thought he did do a good enough job of sticking with the run because we were running it on their ass. But as far as the passing game is concerned, I thought we looked like preseason-ish in terms of how vanilla we were. I didn't feel like there was any creativity to the pass game. Like I wanted more wide receiver screens. We tried one little fake screen this way, come back the other way type of deal. But, I wanted some more quick hitters. Slant. Did you see a slant today? Refresh my memory. Did any of y'all see a slant today? I mean, just simple stuff. Like I don't recall seeing a single slant. I don't recall seeing anything to get your quarterback into a rhythm. Just felt like everything was just kind of meh. Anyway, I digress. Let's see. Ishmael Benitez, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. IB writes, we're seeing very little of JD now. I said that in the preseason. I thought maybe this is just a preseason thing. I would love to know how many snaps JD played, and I would love to know if I was wrong, because I told you guys I don't think JD had a single target in this game. I know he didn't have a rush, but he did have a rush. I take that back. I think he had a rush right before halftime. He had like a 9-yard rush on that final drive right before the half. Did he have a single target in the pass game, though? Like, that's his best attribute, is being a pass catcher. Did he have a single target? Like, what are we doing right now? That's the thing. Like, Terry with limited targets, no targets for JD McKissic. Like, what are we doing? You think we that talented at receiver that you could just ignore JD McKissic as a pass catcher? What are we doing? I don't know. Let's see. So Timothy Wells says 78. Carlos B says, damn, 78 snaps. What'd I tell y'all? And that's high. I didn't think they got to 78. I thought it would be like 73, 74. And Rufio says 49. We had 49 plays. So what does that tell you? Like, I don't have to look at the stats to tell y'all these things. Like, watching the game, you can feel it in the moment. I don't have to look at the stat sheet to tell y'all. The time of possession is going to be ridiculous. It was. Somebody said 16 minutes of difference, 39 to 23. And I told y'all they had to have at least 20 to 25 more plays than us. 78 to 49. That's damn near 30 more plays than us. You can't win in this league like that. And then decide to make mistakes on top of it. It's ridiculous. DCJ, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. DCJ writes, what's good, Lou? I'm going to eat my L with honor, but Washington football team gave this game away. My two keys, they didn't meet. Red zone O and run D, but the D overall got work to do. Yeah, you were adamant that we were going to win this game week 1. You've been talking about that since either early August, late July. We're going to win this game. So, yeah, you got to eat that L, but it's all good, man, because we've all been definitive about things. I wasn't definitive about this, but I thought we could win this game, and we had a chance. I'm definitive about next week. It's not often I guarantee anything, because this team has never instilled me with enough confidence to guarantee any damn thing. But I guaranteed week 1 last year, and I'm guaranteeing next week against the Giants. I get that wrong, we in a world of trouble this year. In a world of trouble. I don't give a shit if the Giants win in week 1 or not. We don't win next week against the Giants at home, we're in for a long season, guys. A long one. CT, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, and thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, everyone calm down. It's week 1. Week 1. It's a long season. I couldn't agree with you more. Say that a little bit louder for the people in the back. It's week 1. We'll be fine. Relax. I hate being 0-1 because I don't want to be one of those teams that's desperate for a win and trying to avoid 0-2, but that's where we are at now. That's where we put ourselves. And I don't know what the Giants are doing and how their outcome will end up being, but it could be 2 0-1 teams fighting to not be 0-2, or it could be the Giants looking to go to 2-0 and us looking to avoid 0-2. Whatever the case may be, we need it now. I wanted it before. We need it now. That's the difference between losing and winning this game. You win this game, you want the Giants game. You lose this game, which we just did. Now you need that Giants game. Ryan F., thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Ryan F. writes, let's be honest. They targeted St. Juice because he kept getting burned. We could have done better. That was a huge issue. Like I said, Justin Herbert targeted everybody in the secondary. He was not afraid of any of our corners. Not William Jackson III, not Kendall Fuller, not Benjamin St. Juice, not Torrey McTyer got some work when he came in the game. Everybody was targeted. Everybody was a target. Everybody was a mark out on the football field. Nobody was safe and nobody was excluded from the wrath of Justin Herbert. So you can pick on St. Juice if you like, but everybody got some. The only guy that gave us a chance was William Jackson III. That was the only guy that I felt like he's right there. He's right there. Everybody else Either they were right there but didn't make a play, or they were consistently getting balls caught on them. Thank you for the and just so you know, Ryan, Benjamin St. Juste is going to be targeted a ton this season. He's a rookie. That's what teams do. They go after rookies to see how good they are. Lorenzo Simpson. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Zoe writes, y'all panicking after week 1? Relax, LOL. Yeah. There's a lot of those out there, man. But you know, if you've been watching these videos and you've been a part of this fan base long enough, then you know it's a lot of panicking that goes on after every single loss. We could be 5-0 and we'll have people panicking after the first loss of the season, man. Like, that's what we do. Josh Kirby, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Josh. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB as well, who writes, just because we took an L today doesn't mean that y'all can't hit that like button. 1 game down, 16 to go. Thank you for that, Josh Kirby. Greatly appreciate you. Y'all heard the man. Please take the time to hit the like button. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the Louie Tee Network for more great content. And turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. He's absolutely right. Only 273 likes right now. So with over 470 of you out there, there should be no way that we don't hit 350 before this thing is all done, said and done. So thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, Josh Kirby. 99 problems, Chase ain't one. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, let's just say it. Their O-line dominated our D-line, period. Terry, JD, and Logan need more usage. I agree with that as well. Man, this was one of those you have to get it done type of games. It was. It felt like a game that we had no business losing. It really did. I couldn't agree with you more. The usage rate for Logan, Terry, and JD, just not enough. Simply not enough. At this point, I need to see more of JD and less of Humphreys. Like, he hasn't proven shit to me yet. I'm not impressed with Adam Humphreys at all. And at some point, he may prove his worth in gold. But right now, I don't see a winner. I don't see a slot winner. I don't see a slot machine. I just see a guy that's either dropping a pass 2 yards short of the first down or isn't open at all. And I could be wrong. I go back and watch the film and I can say Adam Humphreys was breaking dudes off and he was open. He just didn't get it. I don't think I'm going to go back and watch the film and feel that way. The bottom line is J.D. McKissic needs more opportunities. Terry McLaurin needs more opportunities. And Logan Thomas needs more opportunities. I talked about spreading the wealth. They did everything but spread the wealth in this game. Again, we didn't have it a ton on offense. But we didn't maximize the possessions that we did have either. Thank you for the super chat. 99 problems, Chase ain't one. Irish, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, who writes, that AG fumble was a backbreaker. Penalties hurt too. Offense and defense wasn't good enough, but Heineke was impressive. That is one of the most accurate super chats of the afternoon to this point. And there have been a ton of them. A lot of you have been spot on with your analysis. But that's essentially how I feel. You know, I would rank Gibby's fumble as the second reason we lost this game. The first being the defense's inability to get off the field on third down. Gibby's fumble directly led to the game-winning touchdown. So that's pretty high on the damn list. And then after that, the penalties. And I told you, Dustin Hopkins' miss, albeit a momentum changer of sorts, that's fourth on the list behind the untimely penalties that this team had in this game. We shot ourselves in the foot, man. Shot ourselves in the foot. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Metaphor writes, what week in record do we start hitting the panic button? I don't know. I'll let you know when that time comes, but we're not there yet. So let me ask you this, Metaphor. Why are you talking about when we should hit the panic button? Why do you guys always think so negatively? Why is the glass always half full? Why is it always half empty? Why can't it ever be half full? Why are you guys such pessimists? Look, it's one game. Why are you talking about when should we hit the panic button? You should be talking about how we're going to make adjustments to find a way to beat the Giants in week 2 and get back into this thing. The Eagles aren't running away with this division because they beat the Atlanta Falcons. The Cowboys aren't running away with this division because they went toe-to-toe with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They still lost the game. We're 0-1. We're not 0-6. We lost by 4 points, and we made a bevy of mistakes. So did the Chargers. We're fine. Why are we talking about hitting the panic button? Let's see. I think that's the last super chat right there. And so that's going to do it for me, your man, Louie Tee. That was a fun one, guys. I enjoyed that game. I enjoyed this discussion with you guys. We're going to have a lot to talk about. This is going to be a condensed week because obviously we got Thursday night football. So the week is going to be a little bit different. But I can tell you this much. I'm most pleased and encouraged by the fact that Taylor Heinicke, more likely than not, will be the starter in week 2. And he might have been the most impressive part of today's game. So if you're asking me for a silver lining, it's the fact that Taylor Heinicke may be the starter, not just next week, but maybe moving forward. And I think he gives us the best chance to win personally. So with that said, and he's going to make his fair share of mistakes too. He's a young guy as well. But I like the mobility. I like his ability to extend plays. I like the fact that he gives us a different dimension offensively. So with that said, I am a Washington fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Washington spirit will never die. Washington spirit will never hold until we meet again. Hail to our beloved Washington football team. I really feel like this was a game that we let slip through our fingers, that we could have won, that we had a chance to get, and we didn't get it. But by no means am I panicking, and by no means does that change the narrative for me. I said we were 10-17. I thought that the floor was 7 wins. The ceiling was 10. This game hasn't changed my view and outlook on this season one iota. This is the type of football team we are. We can't make mistakes. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot and expect to win. We're not good enough to overcome mistakes that are self-inflicted. If the other team is just better and they out-execute us, you tip your cap. But when you make the mistakes we made today, you can't win because we're not good enough to do that. So until next time, I'm your man, Louie Tee. I got a couple more super chats. Let me get these on the way out. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Metaphor writes, fumble, eh? But Sheriff's penalties and not recovering Gibby's fumble when his big stomach was right on top of it. That helped us lose. That wasn't Sheriff. It might have been Sheriff. You might be right. Because there was an offensive lineman that got in there and he just simply didn't get it. And I was like, how the hell does he not come up with that? He's laying on the football, but maybe his arm wasn't able to corral the ball, whatever the case may be. Sheriff was huge. I talked about his penalties really hurting us in this game. So I can tell you this much. He was not good enough. And it's not like he was beaten, in his duties. He had a holding penalty. He had a huge false start. And then not coming up with that fumble might have been the biggest play of the game. I remember talking about the Steelers game last year. Remember, there was a fumble in that game by, I want to say it was J.D. McKissick. I think it was. Either way, whoever it was, I don't remember. Logan Thomas came up with that fumble. T.J. Watt could have picked it up. He didn't. We got that football. That was the biggest play of that game. They recovered that fumble. They beat us. We recovered that fumble. We might still win the game, but we didn't. And it wasn't meant for us to win the game. It wasn't. Metaphor, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy Metaphor writes, I asked panic because I said not week 1 if we lose to New York. I get what you're saying. I mean, if we lose next week and we're 0-2, yeah, it's time. I won't say hit the panic button yet, but it's time to start really being worried that this season. No, let me stop. If we don't beat the Giants next week, yes, it's time to hit the panic button. Period. End of discussion. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything. You fall to 0-2 with the Bills on the road, your next two on the road, including at Buffalo. Yeah, it's time to start panicking and hitting the panic button, because if Justin Herbert can do what he did to us today, what the hell do you think Josh Allen is going to do to us in 2 weeks? I shudder to think at what that's going to be like. So yeah, I know I get where you're coming from. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to let you guys get to the other games on Sunday. I'm going to try to jump in and pick up, where some of these games are and figure out what the hell's going on. It was a rough one, to say the least. But at the end of the day, I feel encouraged by Heineke's presence and just knowing we can't be any worse than we were today defensively on third downs. We can't be any worse. There's no way possible. We'll never be this bad on third downs again. Hopefully I didn't just put my foot in my mouth, but I have confidence that this defense won't give up 14 of 18 on third downs the remainder of the season. That high of a clip with that many attempts. That's asinine. Anyway, I'm your man, Louie Tee, signing off. Until next time, you guys enjoy the rest of the evening. I will see you tonight for Sunday Night Football overtime. And for the rest of you, I'll see you tomorrow for either the Louie Tee Network podcast or for Washington Football Nightly. Until then, get off the bench, get in the game, and kick it with me, your man, Louie Tee. Hit the like button if you haven't already done so. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done that, and the notification bell as well. You guys get out of here. Enjoy the rest of the games. That one hurt. 20-16 loss to the Chargers. We'll be fine. We'll bounce back next week. I'll see you guys. Have a good one.